on YouTube? Welcome to the land of Reckless Logic. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack that notification bell so do not miss any of my posts from me. Let's get straight into this video. Hello, everybody. Let me put my banner up real quick so we can get straight into what we need to get into. Alrighty, what's going on, logicians? Hello. You guys can already see this is the Reckless Bureau. So before we even get started, as you guys can already tell, we're going to talk about some relationships. We're going to talk about the dynamics between the genders, between the sexes, the issues, personal experiences. We're going to talk about it all. But what we're going to do first, I am going to run my fair use and explicit content disclaimer. So let's get straight into that before we even proceed. Let's go, y'all. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 allows is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, always constructive. Comment down below. News reporting, I guess that's what we doing. Teaching, hopefully y'all learn something. Scholarship, we ain't got no money. Education and research so you can get a nasty piece of degree. Okay? Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Hello. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Alrighty, let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, what's going on? Okay, people are slowly coming in, but it's all right. All right, so I'm going to introduce my panel. You guys already know who I am, but however, this is going to be a Valentine's Day special. But let's introduce my panelists. So I'm going to bring them up one by one. Hello, so we got my first panelist. What's going on? How you doing, beautiful?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, talk to the people, introduce yourself, let the people know where they can find you, what's going on, and we're going to get started.
So my name is Delia D Beauty, which is my IG handle. I'm kind of just getting started with this YouTube thing. So these are the channels, Conscious and Reckless are the channels that I feel the safest in right now. There's a lot of YouTube community going on. And so I'm just trying to, get used to it, get a feel for it.
All righty. So let's bring up the next panelist. Bam. Hello.
I'm simple. My name's Alicia, Ali Shorty, whatever you want to call me, whatever's easier to remember, to be honest. I'm a simple girl. Y'all gonna figure me out over time, to be honest. So yeah.
Good. So let's bring in, I feel like this person right here is going to be the wild card, but we're going to bring this person in anyway. Hello, how you doing today, sir?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's going on? My name is Drew. I'm super new to this YouTube stuff, so I'm gonna just have some conversation, see how it goes. My bad, my pup is with me, so if y'all see me like looking to the side a lot, she needs a lot of attention.
You fine. All righty, so we got Drew, we got Alicia, we got Delia. But let's get into my last panelist, baby, because baby.
Hey everybody, I'm Rain. I'm new to this YouTube stuff as well. First video doing it with Reckless. So I'm pretty goofy, chill, relaxed, but y'all learn over time. You can find me on Instagram as Rainy Spam. That's it.
Okay, we going. Girl's about to get. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna talk about relationships. We're gonna get into the nooks and crevices of relationships, the nooks and crevices of how relationships do typically go and shit. So, and by the way, y'all, let me just give you guys little ground rules. Ground rules is that you can get passionate, you can get into your bag, speak your piece, especially something that you're passionate about. Get that. We need that. I love that. But as long as you're not directly disrespecting the other panelists, as in you're a bitch, you're a pussy, or stuff like that, it's cool. Let it rock. The word a cussing ministry. Okay, so if you feel like you want to say puss ass hoes, it's puss ass hoes is gonna be, okay? And make sure you got But yeah, my chat, when they do actually get up in here, we'll put another notification out. But they are very much vocal people, and also too when people actually play the playback, because people right now they probably out there with their mans. Okay, so first things first. So this is actually a question for the panel. How do you currently in current day, how do you view relationships in current present day? Well, from your personal experiences. I'm going to start with Delia, and I'm going to move my way all the way down to Drew. So it's going to be Delia, Alicia, Rain, then Drew. I'll do it like that.
Okay. First off, I used to be a romantic, like a full Disney princess romantic. I used to want the most done for me consistently. And after being disappointed so many times, I'm no longer romantic. I'm not even truly pursuing marriage outright. I think people have a lot of growing and maturing to do, and they believe that sometimes getting a relationship, it's the other person's, their partner's responsibility to help them develop. I'm not about to do that. So nowadays I've been kind of lax on meeting people and getting into relationships, period.
Okay. All righty. The queen has spoken. Alicia.
Well, I'm gonna talk about how I feel relationships are for me and what I see relationships for other people. How relationships are for me, I think my track history is decent. I think my track history is decent. I feel like communication is very important. So when I'm in a relationship with somebody, I tell them what I want, like what I want, what I need, and I also expect for them to tell me the same. So I feel like most of my relationships have gotten better strictly off of communication and comprehending one another. Now, these relationships I be seeing out here, some of you, no offense, man, but some of y'all females be letting these. Can I use cuss words? Can I use cuss words?
Yeah.
No. Some of y'all females be like,
you say what you gotta say, baby.
Some of y'all females be letting these niggas do whatever they want. These niggas is not oblivious. As much as they try to be, they is not. So y'all need to get from these men what y'all want and give too, and give in return. Cause some of y'all, I'm sorry, but that's all I gotta say for now.
Oh, but we just getting warmed up. I already know what to do and what to say. Okay, so Rain.
Okay. So I feel like some of these new relationships nowadays, they lack communication. So one of the key points that you did state is communication. It's like people are scared to tell how they really feel for one another or tell how to express themselves properly. And I feel like if you don't express yourself, I can't ever learn. So it's a lot of that. And a lot of people are trying to figure themselves out. I feel like they need to figure themselves out before they can try to do a relationship. If you learn yourself, you can present yourself and you know what you don't like, what you do like. But other than that, I feel like from my track record, communication was heavy key.
Okay. Well, I have a follow-up question. So what are some other attributes, characteristics would you say also go along with communication?
So I would say typically some attributes like, if you feel like for instance, if you feel like I disrespected you in any kind of way or substance, let me know. Put me aside, tell me, hey, I didn't like that, not hold it in, hold it in to the point that now you really mad and you exploded.
Be doing that. I be doing that. No, because the reason I feel like some females do that is because I feel like us as females, we very vocal. You can't get us to stop talking. So y'all should already know what we like and dislike. And if you keep doing stuff that we dislike, how you gonna get mad? It's nothing else to say. At that point, yeah, I'm gonna give you the side. What am I gonna say? Because you should already know.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to be honest. The reason why I asked that question, well, the follow-up question for you, Rain, is because a lot of times, too, I say as well, I always say that, yes, communication is very important. It's key. But I also say with that is that people always talk about communication, but they never ever talk about comprehension. Because I always talk about how if I'm speaking English, but you understand Spanish, we never going to get anywhere. So as much as I even try to use the English language, and I'm just using this as a figurative, but as much as I try to use the English language, as much as I try to, use certain languages, but if you don't understand that language, we ain't gonna get nowhere. So I think communication and comprehension does go hand in hand. And also I think ego depths as well. Because sometimes, I'm saying even for myself, sometimes when people come to you and they are brutally honest or they're being vulnerable and but also keep in mind, I'm not the person that was affected by it. So with that being said, oh yes, ma'am. Come on, Star Keisha. But yeah, come on, Star in the chat. But I was gonna say, like, when it comes down to comprehension, a lot of people are not willing to have that ego depth to be like, you know what, I was wrong. Some people would rather be passive aggressive or stand on their soapbox. And plus, from what I've seen on YouTube, baby, they're gonna do that. So Drew, Mr. Drew Smooth, let's get into it. All righty. So
yeah,
what is your response to that?
So hold on, just to be clear, the original question, you say what was my thought on relationships these days?
Yes.
All right. So to answer that, my thought on relationships these days, honestly, I see relationships as just like two people wasting their time.
Woo.
And I say that because
I live for it.
Not that relationships aren't a good thing when done properly, but I'm just saying, like, today, people got too much interest in themselves. Like, we're very selfish people nowadays. So it's like, you can't even give somebody 100% for real.
To be honest.
You know what I'm saying? So most people can't. So it's just two people wasting their time, and they're just there temporarily. And look, I ain't gonna lie, we actually agreed on one thing, right? We finally agreed on something. So communication is not key, comprehension is. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm with a girl and I'm telling her what it is, you know what I'm saying, but she not understanding, then it's like it's no point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're wasting your time.
Well,
so,
also
it's not. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you good.
Yeah, so it's not communication that's key. It's definitely comprehension that's key for sure.
Okay. But okay. So what I was gonna say as well is that yes, comprehension. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it's both because I think it's both sided because the thing about it, I've also seen where people would talk out of both sides of their neck, and it's like you're saying this, you're doing this. You're sending two different signals. Now, I do understand that when it comes down to the logical and really like analyzing somebody, you go based off what they're actually doing. People say everything, but you actually go based off what they're doing. But I get it. So that actually puts me to my very first official question. How do you guys actually, before we do that, I want to get into what Star Keisha said. Come on, Star Keisha. Yes, ma'am. Now it says relationships nowadays are mostly just for show. Many people need to heal from previous trauma and learn themselves before attempting to add another person in their life. Baby, I agree. You guys agree or disagree with this statement?
Agree. It's two people wasting their time most of the time you see a relationship. I agree with that.
For real. And that's just like two traumas to coming together. That's even worse because then they start bringing in other people and it's irrelevant. It's a mess.
Bye. Okay, so this is gonna get me to my first question, official question. So, how do you guys feel about gender roles? Are they considered a necessity? Are you pro gender roles? Pro anti gender roles? And by the way, this is for the whole panel. So you just bow in, say what you need to say, bow out gracefully when you realize other people are coming in. So the floor is yours, guys.
See, if I speak, I'm gonna speak from a religious standpoint.
Yes, come on, religion.
I don't know if everybody agrees with it, but what I was taught is that I don't agree with it 100%, but let me not say something that's gonna get me caught up. But
no. Hold up. I gotta step in. Don't come over here. Okay, we're gonna do this. Don't come over here trying to pussyfoot. Yeah, everybody on this panel better act like we on the phone speaking. This is the Reckless Bureau. We here to get to the nitty gritty, and we here to have the real conversations. Even if that means that you have the opposing view, there are people that may have a different perception or think just like you, and they may learn something from this. So with that being said, don't come up here trying to sound pretty, and that's not what you really feel. And now I'm gonna let you
I wasn't gonna
proceed.
say something that I don't feel. I was just okay. I was gonna tiptoe around it. But anyway,
I know you were.
So elaborate what you mean by gender roles. You mean in the household, like if y'all in the same household, or just like within a relationship, like because some people in a relationship they don't live together, and it's different. Like when you're in a relationship with someone and you living together and you're in a relationship with it, I feel like that's two different things. So
Okay.
all of it, or just
all of that. I'm talking about man must be provider, protector.
You talking about in general.
Yeah.
In general, women must cook clean, must be feminine, submissive. Girl, we're gonna get to that submissive shit. Because I know that hurts y'all spirit when y'all hear that.
No, I don't mind being submissive. I don't mind being submissive to my man. Like I feel like as women, we shouldn't try to be, dominant all the time. Like, let your feminine energy come through. Like, don't use a nigga for everything, or depend on them for everything. But like, I feel like some of us women, we just too dominant, and that's why I say that's where religion comes through. Because what I was taught is that the woman's supposed to be home, take care of the children, then take care of the household and making it a home, whereas the man is supposed to be out providing. Is that how my household gonna be ran? No, because I like to work. I like to go get my own money, but I also like to clean and I have a son. I like to care for my son and all that other stuff. So I could really do either one, to be honest. But I'm gonna make sure I'm keeping up my part in the relationship. Like I'm not gonna leave it all on my man, So that's how I feel. I kind of agree with gender roles just a little bit, because I feel like if they both doing the same thing, it's not going to be balanced. It has
so I have
to
a
be
question.
balanced.
Well, I have a follow-up question for you. Would you be willing, because you said that, I'm here for gender roles. Would you be willing to do the opposite? Because I think a lot of times we always talk about gender roles and how, I don't want to be no gender roles. But would you be willing to be the provider? Would you be willing to, quote unquote, take on or man's gender role?
If my husband or my boyfriend asks me to, is there a certain scenario where I would have to be the provider? Because I'm doing that right now. So I'm providing for myself. I'm providing for my child.
Period.
So is there a certain scenario where I would have to be the provider? Or just because,
I'm talking about in general. So everything I'm saying just in general, if that means that, something happened, he lost his job, or it may be a new relationship that you're coming into and the dynamics just might be different. Would you be willing to?
Yeah, I said I wouldn't mind doing either. I wouldn't mind being the stay-at-home mom or the stay-at-home wife. I still got to find some way to get some income, because I don't want my husband to be the only one making money. But I don't mind doing that. But I don't mind being the provider and all that other stuff. I'm doing that right now. So if my husband got into a car accident, he can't work, or he wants to follow his dreams and he need a little bit of time off of work to start a business or something, yeah, I'll take on that.
I think the key that she said was, notice what she just said, a little bit of time. This ain't gonna happen for an extended period of time. So in actuality, no, you don't want to provide for no man. Because you just said for a certain amount of time, he want to start a business, he get laid off, woo, woo, woo. But you ain't taking care of no stay-at-home husband.
I'll take care of my man.
You'll take care of him, but you're not going.
What I have done. So if I know how far I will go for the man I love. I just said there's different scenarios
and all of that.
I said
but there's no way.
I said there's different scenarios. If my husband was in an accident, my boyfriend right now, he's in the Army. So if something happened to him, Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
take
hold it
on
down,
that role,
100%.
but I know he not gonna want me to take on that role. But I'm gonna take on that role if something happened to him. I said in different situations. I would have named in different situations, so it wasn't a little bit. It wasn't a little bit. I was just naming different situations. Sir.
All right.
So let
I,
look at it.
no,
Rain.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's
Quite
get you.
frankly, I don't. Back to your original question,
Mhm.
I'm not really. Well, I don't really believe in gender roles like that. Well, to an extent, typically all that women is known to cook in the house. I'm known to cook myself. I'll
You
let me
look
treat you. Let me cook and throw down for you while you relax. And there be some times, you want to work? Go ahead, you can work. Of course, with two incomes right then and there. I feel like if we come up with that arrangement and that agreement, who else to say it? Everybody else can have their opinion and whatnot, but we know what we got. We know what we agreed to. If you want to do what you got to do to make you better, I'm here to help you. I feel like a relationship is to help each other grow better to the person that we want to be into. All these people nowadays, they feeling like they get into relationships because it's something they can take from it. So I feel like as far as that gender roles, it don't really matter to me.
Okay. All righty. Let's get
Can I
Delia.
jump in? Can I jump?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I just want to say I love the idea of a gender role. I love that. I live for that. The reason being is because the idea it is what it is. It's an idea. If we lived in a society and a culture of people that subscribe to it wholeheartedly, as in these men were able to provide in a way in which I did not have to work, because I'll be honest, I don't like to work. If I did not have to work, I would not work. This is stressing me out. It's making me uncomfortable. I don't feel like I was made and birthed to be working 9 to 5. That's disgusting. So if I did not have to work, I would not work. If there was a man I could depend on that was like, here, let me take care of you, you do this, this, and this, then I'm good. But I don't think we live in that type of society where I can depend on a man. I've been in relationships where I was the person making the most money. So I helped him do a lot of things I shouldn't have done. I spent a lot of money on a man. That's embarrassing how much money I spent on this guy. I look back on it I wake up at night in cold sweats thinking about all the money that I spent on a man that I could have been spending on me. That's
Oh,
crazy.
oh
So
my god.
no, I would love the idea of being able to just do a part that is the
Oh.
neck, supportive. Let me make sure the house is taken care of, that you come home outside of the world and you have a calm, safe space to be. And you go out in the streets and you handle these people and you make this money. That's what I would like, but I don't think that's reality. It's an idea. And yeah, that's just
It's
how
some
I feel
people's
about it.
reality. It's
Oh.
some people's reality. You
You
just
know
got
what's funny? I'm laughing. I'm laughing because me and Drew had a debate conversation about that exact same point. When I tell you, well, I don't know about him. I was up in arms because
I
he always
bodied
be
him.
saying that. I'd
I
be like,
bodied him. He was tight.
he was up. He be saying that all the time. I'd be like, ugh,
You
just
was tight, bro. You know I got that argument.
no, you don't. That was just one person. Actually, that was two because the other lady, no, she almost got it. Yeah, y'all. You up in here. So, what are your thoughts on gender roles? Are you pro gender roles, anti gender roles? I think I already know how this is gonna go, but
oh Lord. I already know how it's gonna go for how he talked to me,
I
but you could go. You could go.
nah. I do got a question for the young. I'm gonna answer that question, but if I could ask a question real quick.
oh yeah, this is an open forum.
Yeah. So you said it was embarrassing for you, like spending all that money on a man. Like, can you tell me why? Like, for you, it was an embarrassing experience.
So this was not your typical Black American man. He was continental African. He was from West Africa. And so I went into the relationship thinking, see, it was on me. I can admit that. I was like, let me lift him up. Let me build him up. He's not where he needs to be yet. I see the potential. So let me go ahead and help him. That was my first mistake. That was red flag number one. So that's on me. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Right. So I was doing that for maybe a year. He wasn't making much progress. Of course, their economy is different. Standards and costs of living are different. So those are all factors. However, at the end of the day, as a woman, I do not want to feel like there's any possible way that I'm emasculating you, because if I am being the sole provider, so let me, I don't want to say it, but I already started, so let me go ahead and say it.
Say it.
Speak your truth.
He didn't have a passport, so I paid to get him a passport. And then for his birthday, I flew him out. So
You said,
these
hold
are
on.
embarrassing things. I regret it looking back on it now. I was at a different space. I don't know that woman anymore. She's dead. But I just felt like I'm doing so much for you that I'm the provider, and I can't see you as a provider until you can do what I do. And he could never possibly do what I do. I feel like I put a lot of expectations on him, and I can take ownership of that. But at the end of the day, I can't look at you and respect you in the same way because of the fact that you're not that person in my life. And so that's why I feel like I regretted it.
Got you. Hey, them Africans be going off, bro.
They be finessing.
They be finesse. Hey, bro, I gotta fuck with some
They be
Africans. I ain't
finessing.
gonna cap.
The
Man,
views and
hey,
opinions of the panel do not reflect Reckless Logic. I
man.
love Africans and Nigerians.
Nah, I fuck
They
with them
Um,
too,
they
brother.
from
be
Not even
Ghana, I love
finesse.
y'all
they be
very much. The views for people from Egypt, I do not. What they're saying does not reflect Reckless Logic. We're here having an open forum. Just got to give that
Let
dialogue
me
out.
stop. It's Black History Month. Let me stop.
Girl. I should do a panel on that too. All right, so what are your thoughts on gender roles, Drew?
I think in general most females feel the same way the young lady that spoke before me feel. Gender. All right, let me ask a question real quick. Who on the panel like wants to get married?
Girl, fuck these niggas.
So just two. You don't want to get married?
Everybody ruined it for.
All right, but
There is a
no.
man. My mom
I
told me
got you.
older
But
men.
would you
My
say
mom told me
so?
to go after older men.
There you go. So
Find you an older man.
so to the one that doesn't want to get married, as a girl, as a woman, would you say that your opinion is like the majority, or do you feel like in general most females want to get married?
I think looking at data statistically, we're moving away. Our generation is not getting married at the same numbers our parents were. We're not having children
Right.
at the same numbers our
No,
parents
no,
were.
no. But
So I
we're
think I'm.
not
Mhm,
we're not getting married for a multitude of reasons. But I'm saying in
mhm.
general, because at the end of the day, a female can't marry herself. So if a dude doesn't ask a woman to marry him, she'll never be married. So we're not getting married for a number of reasons. It could be, financial reasons, feminist movements, guys just simply not interested in that kind of female, these modern women. So I'm asking though, not the question I'm asking is, in general, do you think most girls want to get married? Whether they get married or not is that's not up to them completely. But do you think they want to get married? Like if they could, they would. Most females. I understand you don't, but most females, what do you think?
I can't tell you what most women want, but I do
Sorry,
believe.
stupid. I'm sorry. Got you. Stop.
I feel that if women wanted to get married, I don't believe we can keep marriage in the same way, but I do feel if more women wanted to get married, there would be more marriages because it's a union between two people. I don't know that I would say most right now want to get married. I don't know if I believe that.
But how can you say if a female wants to get married, she can get married? How can she just get married without a dude proposing to her? She can't marry herself. She has to qualify at some point.
She has to do what?
Qualify.
She has
You
to
don't think?
qualify.
Yeah,
Like
to be a wife, 100%.
she's
Not
filling
every
out a
female's a
job
wife.
application and there are requirements. Is
Even
that
if
what
she
you're
did
saying?
qualify, y'all still.
That's what you're saying?
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think a dude has to qualify to be your boyfriend? You don't think a guy has to qualify to like be able to have access to your body?
I think that the word qualify is so corporate that it's almost impersonal, and I wouldn't use that word to describe people in a relationship.
What word would you use?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just off the top of my head.
Right. So we would probably just have to go with qualified. But you know, let me.
Sure, let's do that.
But anyway, let me answer your question though. Let me answer your question
because I got some follow up questions for you.
Yeah. She was kind of shying away from the question. She was giving real political answers, real diplomatic. It's all right. But I think nah, she's cool. Nah, I think gender roles work. I think they're necessary because they work. If you look at it, like back in the 1960s, we were at a damn near 90% something marriage rate. You get what I'm saying? And that's because gender roles were in place. What was going on back in the 60s? Men was handling their business and women was handling theirs. It wasn't this blending, this, you know what I'm saying, this melting pot, this unnecessary stir of things, you know what I'm saying? Like these curveballs. It wasn't none of that. It was just men be men and women be women. Now, almost 50, 60 years later, we're getting married at a rate of like 40-something%. And not only are we getting married later, the marriage is shorter than ever. So we go back to what I was saying. We're just wasting each other's time at the end of the day.
Okay. Because but
to answer your question, absolutely, gender roles work. They work. I believe in them because they work. The numbers show that.
Girl, I can tell we're gonna get into it on this panel.
The numbers show that. Women are more vocal now. Women are more vocal than they was back then. Women couldn't be vocal back then, and men just.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. So the more vocal y'all got, the worse our numbers got. What'd that say?
You said what?
The more vocal, in your words, the more vocal y'all got, you know, our numbers in terms of interpersonal relationships and marriage is successful too.
Y'all not listening.
Like ever since y'all got more vocal, these numbers have been going down. What's the problem?
Women can ask for the most simple things and men still will not do it. It don't make no sense. You could tell men, let's just talk more. Let's just talk a little bit more. They will not do that. It's that. Women are talking more and men just not listening. And I understand what the issue is. Not all men. Not all men.
I know. We're not doing that. We're not speaking on.
No, because I'm doing that because I don't want to generalize a whole group when it's not all of them. So I'm going to say not all men when I say that.
Girl, fuck that. All men. Let me stop. More context. And I do have some follow-up questions for you, Drew. Okay, so like we all know that whenever we're speaking about a community or we're talking about a group of people, obviously we're not talking about all entities within said community. But however, I think a lot of times when they are speaking of certain experiences, 9 times out of 10, they're speaking of the majority, which seems to be more of a common theme. So, like, keep in mind, I come on here and I say niggas ain't shit like a motherfucker. Of course, I know some wonderful melanated men in my life. But however, the motherfuckers I was cussing to come across my goddamn timeline and also come in my presence compared to the people that I'm like, okay, you know what? You good. So obviously it's not all men, but however, I would say when people speak, they're speaking of the majority, at least from their perspective. Okay, so Drew, let's get some follow-up questions getting up in here. So I heard you use a couple of key words when you were speaking. Now, you did mention and say the feminist movement is the reason why, I don't want to misquote you, or some along them lines. It's a reason why people are not getting married anymore. Can you clarify?
My bad, but
I don't want to misquote you.
Nah, my bad. Like you kind of went out for a second, so
I went out for a second, girl. You already know I'm in the country. Okay, so so what I was saying is that you had mentioned something about the feminist movement, and that's the reason why people weren't really getting married or something like that. But however, and by that, and also clarify, just so I don't misquote you.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Every time you just said, however, and then you just went out. Every time you get to that part, you go out. It's the craziest thing. I'm not even trying to dodge the question.
No, I know. Guys, I told you. I'll be telling you I'm in the country. So
I hear everything else. I swear.
Okay,
Why
can
she
you
do it again?
clarify? Can you clarify your statement about the feminist movement in marriage? Because I don't want to misquote you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I mean, the feminist movement, we're all here, we're living in it, we're a part of it. So I don't think I really have to go into detail about what that is. But as I mean, look, as that rises, marriage falls. Like there's a direct correlation between the two. So she just said, women are more louder and more vocal and this and that. I'm sure you guys have more rights and everything like that, but like when you look at the marriage rates and it's going in the opposite direction, like what is it necessarily benefiting like society as a whole?
So are you saying women should go back to how they were before?
No, absolutely not. I'm not saying take it
No, I
back to
just
that
want you to
extreme.
elaborate. I don't want to put words
No,
in.
no, absolutely, absolutely. I'm not trying to take it back to the extreme saying like women shouldn't have rights and
You keep
everything
you
like
back in
that. But I'm saying,
cages.
nah, but by you saying like, oh, women, like as if you're women are more vocal and this and that, like it's doing any good.
So
Like that's not something you should necessarily.
what would your solution be? What do you think women should do to get the
Honestly,
marriage rate to
honestly,
go up?
honestly, like I said, women should go back to being women and men should go back to being men. I'm not
Elaborate
saying
that.
like, yeah, so if you pay attention to the language that we use nowadays, like, you know, girls wanted alpha females and big bad boss bay and all this stuff. Like it's nothing like if you ask a girl what she want in a man or look for in a man, and then what she brings to the table, it's almost like she gonna describe the same thing for both of them. They bring the same shit to the table, and it's like where do we differentiate the two people then? At what point? I know
Okay,
people don't
so
agree with me. Hold on, but you know what? I know people don't agree with me, right? But think about it like this. Actually, you know what? I
So I
want to
got a
hear what
question.
everybody
I
else.
got a question after
Yeah,
you're done.
go ahead.
wait. Actually,
No,
wait,
go
wait,
ahead. Go ahead.
wait. 1 second. Let me get Rain up in here. So what are you taking from this conversation? What's how
So,
can you make sense of all of this? What are your
okay,
thoughts?
can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So, I kind of agree with Drew just a tiny bit, just very tiny bit. It was back in the day how he was saying people are getting married more.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's true because people was actually committing to these relationships. They was making relationships to get married. Nowadays, people are falsifying, lying to make these relationships just to have a little hookup. As far as the comment that he stated from like saying females should go back to doing what females were doing, males do.
That's not
Back
what
in
I
the day,
said.
it still wasn't working. It was still men was still getting trashed on and saying, we had still single mamas out there, high rate of single mamas, deadbeat dads, or we in the prison system. So I feel like it was a little bit of what you were saying I was agreeing with till you started saying how they should go back. But at the same time, you can't blame it all on the female. You got to blame it on the respectable men as well, or the deadbeats back in the day as well too. That was hurts our marriage rate.
Okay,
My bad. I just want to make one comment, right? Not to,
this is open forum.
but
You good?
you got to remember, like he originally asked me to describe like the feminist movement or feminism or whatever, right? So
Mhm.
when I say men going back to being men and women going back to being women, I'm not saying like women should go back to not having any rights, being balled to the bedroom with enough slack to get to the kitchen. I'm not saying none of that. When I'm saying men should be men again and women should be women again, it's like I just think like more women should take pride in like just being in a feminine. You see how this young lady say she would much rather prefer to just be a woman, stay home,
Oh,
take care of shit, and have a man. You know what I'm saying? Be a man and do what he's supposed to do. That's why I say gender roles work. You got to really
But do you know
bring
why
it
I
all
said
in
that?
together. You get what I'm saying?
But do you
But
realize I said it was an idea because it's not possible? Because if we relax, society crumbles. Did you hear that part?
Oh, wait. You said if females relax, society
If
crumbles?
women relax, if we take a back seat, if we stop running things, then society will crumble. So you sit on that. Think about it. Let it marinate
I
for a
didn't I
minute.
didn't hear that part, and I was over here bigging you up the whole time. All right, hold on.
Mhm.
Okay, wait. Let me step in for 2.5 seconds.
Mhm.
Cause me and Drew, we
Society
go back and
crumbles.
forth. Me and Rain, we go back and forth. I know everybody right up here playing it safe. I need everybody up here press the gas. Cause I feel like y'all are holding back.
Yeah,
Press the
and
gas.
also, what do you mean society crumbles?
So number one, your whole talk about marriage, I don't know where you got that from, but when there was a benefit to marriage, women and men were getting married. When you were marrying into something, so in other countries, specifically the Middle East, when a woman marries a man, he is, as unfortunate as it sounds, he becomes, solely responsible for her well-being. He's providing her with a home. When she bears his children, he's making sure those children are taken care of. She does not work. He provides for her. She's marrying into something bigger than what she had before. We are marrying for fun. We're marrying for intercourse. We're marrying for looks. We don't get anything. Unfortunately, looking at like our leaders, Black Panther leaders, those wives died with nothing. Their men were out running the streets all day. And when they were gone, the family has no generational wealth. They have no kingdom. They have nothing. So you're pushing marriage. These people are getting attached to each other and walking away with absolutely nothing. What are we getting married for again?
I'm not pushing marriage. I'm not
Okay.
pushing marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, all I was saying is I think in general most women want to be married. So you're saying what's the point of getting married and I don't care about marriage either. So we don't
Okay.
necessarily disagree there. But I
Mm.
was saying in general, I think most chicks want to get married, whether it's a good idea, bad idea, and to go against what you're saying, it's always a good idea for women to get married. It's not necessarily a good idea for men to get married, but it's always beneficial for a woman to get married.
How?
Especially
Ooh.
if you said
Yeah.
she's marrying into something.
Okay. Okay. So what? Okay. So please explain. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it
I
would
would love
always,
for you to go down that rabbit hole so the audience can know exactly
for
what you
sure.
mean by
It's exactly what she said. It's exactly what
that.
she said. It's beneficial when you're marrying into something. So if every woman chose to get married into something instead of just marrying, bro down the street, it would be beneficial for them. But the man who is something, who has everything, what is the benefit of marrying you? It's
So
always beneficial for a woman to get married because guess what? When she decides to leave him for irreconcilable differences, she gets half of what he got.
as she should. Yeah.
Not necessarily, and there we go. I'll argue that too. But either way, you get what I'm saying. Like it's
No.
in her benefit. He loses half when you get ready to leave for no reason. How does marrying you benefit him in any way? He has everything he wants already. If it's a girl
He
he
does
wants, he get
not.
four
He
more of you.
clearly does not. That's why he got married.
He
If
wants
he
to get
had it
married
all, he'd
because
be
of you.
single.
That's what most women want. He's getting married because that's what she wants. It's not in
No,
his
he's
benefit.
not. What?
So you saying only
Look.
females want to
Yeah. Go
get married?
ahead. I was just gonna say,
You
men,
saying only
to build a
Well,
kingdom, you need more people in the kingdom. It can't just be you. So a woman is bearing your children, they're bearing your generation, the people you're passing down, everything you're working towards. You can have it all, and then when you're gone, somebody else takes it. That's not the point. You're supposed to be building something that lasts longer than your body does. So you need a
But do
woman to
you
help you do that.
right? But that could be any woman though.
It can't
That's
be
what I'm
any
saying.
woman. It can't be
But
any woman.
what do you mean?
No,
How
no.
many millions and hundreds of millions of women on this earth? It can be
There
another
sure
woman.
are. Hmm.
What I'm saying is it's still in the woman's benefit though. You're marrying into something. What is he marrying into?
I explained it.
But but he can have a legacy with any other
No,
living,
you
breathing,
cannot.
attractive
So let me
woman.
explain something real quick. Back in the day, especially with royal families, they would intermarry with their cousins and siblings and whomever because they wanted to keep the bloodline a certain way. I don't promote that. I'm just
Yeah, I
letting
don't
you know
promote
that's how
incest
it
either.
was. Okay. I'm
And
not doing that.
okay,
But
and
they're
after we
specifically looking for a certain woman to have a certain child. If you want your children to all be tall, all be dark skinned, all have some type of like, no, there's no, hereditary defect in your family. You're looking for a specific woman. If she comes from a nice family, her family's all together, their people are educated, people come from a certain place, have an accent, have a,
All right.
yeah.
I
You
have a
can't do
question
that
for
with
you.
anybody.
So
Well, okay,
let me
so
ask you
wait.
real quick. I'm
After I
so
get Drew
sorry.
in here, I want to get Alicia up in here as well. After Drew speaks,
About what?
Yeah.
because
Yeah, my
you
bad.
you trying to chime in here earlier, so I want to get you in.
Oh no,
here.
I answered my own question in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm talking a lot here, so I'm gonna just say this.
No.
I'm gonna ask this.
You good?
Damn, I hold on, give me 1 second. I want to phrase it right, make sure I didn't lose it.
Can I say something while you?
Yeah.
Let me say something. So back to what your conversation was. You were saying how mainly men benefits from marriage, right? So, well, my bad. Mainly women, benefits from marriage. At the end of the day, you also have to think about it. Those circumstances are if that man is wealthy and doing what he needs to do. Now, whereas as far as the majority of the men, not to really bag them like that, but majority of the men, we not doing nothing. We literally sitting around getting taken care of and pampered, and while the women's out here busting their butt, working hard, doing what they got to do to better themselves, and we marry into that. So, from your point of stand, are we saying that women are good enough to have babies with and not marry? Because I feel like that sexual, if we talk about the intimacy, that's way more intimate than a marriage proposal. That's when you showing, you sharing that bond. So once that intimacy comes into play, now y'all souls are coming entangled. So I feel like, from your point of view, when you were saying women, it's not just women that is benefiting from marriage. Quite frankly, I feel like it's from both point of standpoint, because you got a good woman taking care of your household, your woman's. Yeah, she taking care of your kids. She making sure you right. She taking care of yourself. She putting you on game while we supposed to learn how to provide. Many men don't know how to provide. Let's get to it. They don't know how to provide. A lot of us don't even know how to lead. Shoot, we still following behind other people, putting people in our decision. So you have to think about that. It's not beneficial for just one party. It's a union, because once you marry, you're now one.
Okay, he said what he said. Okay, so let me add some more questions up in here. Let's kind of, I don't want to say switch gears, but let's just kind of mix up the cookie dough real quick. Okay, so now we're going to get more into the... Okay, so right now I'm actually starting to see it's kind of implied, but it's never actually directly said. So how do you guys feel about the statement of when people say that men are logical, women are emotional when it comes down to their communication? Do you guys agree or disagree?
That's 100% fact.
To a point.
That is 100% fact. I'm gonna be honest.
Like it's to a point.
I don't agree.
I'm just gonna speak from my personal experience. When I'm going through something, I'm usually gonna think with my emotions before I have to sit and breathe for a second. I have to sit and breathe, think on it maybe a day or two before I think about it logical. Women can think about it logical too, but they just have to go through that emotional state first before they get to that logic. Whereas men are straight to solutions. So I agree with that 100%, to be honest.
Okay. Wait, so you disagree with that? Why? I'm talking about Delia.
Oh.
Huh?
No, I'm saying Delia says she disagreed with that statement.
Oh yeah, I disagree with that statement.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from someone who's incredibly dramatic, incredibly emotional. Yeah, I cry all the time. But for me, I can recognize my emotions. Men like to believe that anger is not an emotion, that vengeance does not come from an emotional place, that wanting to get revenge, get your lick back, also comes from an emotional place. I believe that when men make decisions based off of how they feel or what they need to do to make themselves feel like a man, that's a very emotional response. It typically does not end well. And then the men that do not respond that way, that respond logically, probably consulted a woman before they made their decision.
Girl, now she ate that. Rain, let's get you up in here.
I agree with Leah actually, because from past experience, you make a woman mad. This is one of my experience. They get emotional, but at the end of the day, they thinking, "Oh, okay, I'm finna try this. Okay, you want to play like that? Bet, say less." Whereas a man, we go off emotion. We be like, "Damn, okay, she do this. We hurt. We over here barking. We mad." So I feel like it's not too much. Men are more logical, but I feel like women could be too. Though I said to a standpoint. That's why I made my comment earlier.
Okay. Drew, let's get you up in here to trigger up the people.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure hey, bro, I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, men are definitely more logical. And at least they should be, right? They should be. But I would say in general, yeah, men are more logical. Yes, anger is an emotional response to something, but men should be able to control that. That's what makes a man a man. A man being able to control it and think logically, that's what makes him a man. So one of the things that make him a man. But in general, yeah, men are more logically sound, I believe,
See,
than women. At
can I
least when
say
it comes
something?
to like problem solving and things like that. Like, sure,
I'm sorry.
we might have far more anger issues than women, which is a type of emotion. But I think in general, like when it comes to just like logic, critical thinking, things like that on a daily, regular basis, yes, man.
Okay. Now I know somebody else is trying to get up in here. I'm trying to see who was that.
It was me.
Okay, jump right in.
So I was gonna say, from your standpoint, you saying a lot of should. People should know how to do it, but do they? At the end of the day, I could want to learn how to be a president, but am I? Do I have the qualifications to be a president? Do I have the qualifications to lead somebody else besides myself? At the end of the day, people should. You would think people will have that common sense, but not everybody is raised like that. So I feel like it's not it's not it.
If you ask a woman what she thinks about something, 9 times out of 10 she's gonna tell you how she feels. She's gonna start off by saying, "I feel this way," when you ask her what she thinks about something.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
He got me there. he got me there.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
So I have a question then. So since women are more emotional and they're gonna tell you about how they feel, do you think that's a natural thing, or do you think that's
Yeah, I think that's a natural thing. I'm sorry if I cut you off, but you kind of went out.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Are you good? So it's a natural thing, you said?
Yeah, for sure, it's a natural thing.
Why?
That's just the way it is. Like, I can't even get into the nuances, but like women are built differently than men, and I think, like I was saying earlier, like these are one of the things: men got to be men, women got to be women. We got to let go of this gray area. But one of the things that make women women is the fact that they're like nurturing by nature. They're emotional by nature. They're caring, catering by nature. That's how they supposed to be, at least. You know what I'm saying? On the balance of probabilities, like she's more likely going to be like that than a different way. You get what I'm saying? So women got to get back to being that, and like that, they're just naturally built like that, bro. Like I can't even explain how. Men, we're not so much into the how things make us feel. We're more like you can. Let me give you a prime.
That's how y'all were taught to be.
Let me give you a prime example. And even if that's how we were taught to be, right? And females were taught to be that way. What's wrong with that?
You weren't taught that. You said it comes naturally. I just feel like men are more because that's how y'all were taught. Y'all were taught to hide your emotions.
Yeah, and I think that's beneficial. I think that's how it should be.
Mm-mm.
I don't think any man should be breaking down in front of his female about nothing.
So break down in front of me, baby.
Nah, every girl say they want that. Y'all females say
You could
Look,
break
and I'm
down.
not even,
Okay,
I'm
I got a
not even,
question.
I'm not even speaking from existence. I'm just speaking from a place that makes sense. Every female say they want a man who's intellectually
Emotionally
charged or whatever,
intelligent.
emotionally intelligent and all this. And I want him to be emotional and like you slapping your chest and break down to me. Listen, if that man ever broke down and cried to you about some shit like he can't come up with the rent this month, or he feeling some type of way because bro at work tried him, bro, you is not gonna look at him the same. You're not gonna look at him the same.
My men in the past and current have broke down in front of me, and I do not look at them any less of a man. That's your emotions. I'm not going to expect you to hold it in all the time because I don't want
Listen,
to hold my emotions. You're still human at the end of the
listen.
day.
All I know is if you and if you and any chick, if a female and her man is at the crib watching a movie and it's a sad little movie and both y'all crying at the end, that's a problem.
Oh Lord.
That's a problem.
not,
like,
not if that man showing emotion is a problem.
Gang, that's a problem. We got a whole issue.
What? But why? Okay, so what? Okay, so let's go down this rabbit hole. Because even though I'm supposed to be the host and be neutral and stuff, that's the reason. You already know, Drew. That's the reason why me and you not going at it right now. Because you know we always go at it. Okay, so well, okay, but I do want to read this comment. So Leah did say that men hiding their emotions leads to higher self-deletion rates. Now keep in mind, y'all, on YouTube and stuff, when it comes down to the S word, you know, they're sensitive about language like that. But you know, so basically what they're saying is that men who don't express their emotions, don't really voice how they feel. It actually has studies and statistics to prove that they do take their own life.
And that's why I say you could talk to me because I feel like I'm a mental health advocate. So I care a lot about people's mental health. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, or a child. I work with children. I let these children tell me how they feel because most of these teachers, adults, they don't care. So I encourage men, if you need a therapist, you need to speak your emotions, speak on it. You are still a human being. Yes, you are a man, but you are still a human being with real emotions. And I'm not saying, woe is me, be dwelling it all the time. No, but you need to speak how you feel. Because you know, Stefan, we had our friend who unalived himself like 3 years ago and it came out that he was going through a lot and he wasn't speaking to nobody. So I encourage all men watching to speak on your feelings. You just gotta speak to the right people because there are some women who be out here wilding and they do be picking on men about showing their emotions, but go find the right one.
But also too, I'm gonna say this as well. I also believe it's an ego death you're gonna have to do. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, because I don't get me wrong, I know I come up here and I preach that conscious shit and all the other shit, but however, another part of it is me being honest and real. Even though I am queer, even though I may be gay, but I'm also still a man. So with that being said, I'm also aware that I feel like, and I could be talking out of my ass, I feel like us as men, it's an ego death to ask for help. That's an ego death. Like I've personally asking for help. Oh, you said what? I'm cutting out.
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up quick then. I feel like
he cut out when they wrapped it up.
I feel like it's an ego death. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, we got
okay, there we go.
So you're saying that men don't want to ask for help?
Yeah, I feel like because of the different standards and stuff that are placed on men, but I'm not saying that these standards are, because girl, that's a whole rabbit hole down itself. Drew, we're gonna get into it, but but I feel like because of the standards of patriarchy that men place on themselves, in addition to other women place on them, it puts a pressure on men being able to cry out for help and still quote unquote feel like a man. That's what
I really feel like in this day and age, men are being encouraged more to speak about their feelings, and mental health is being taken more serious. Now I get, and I went to ask for help. Shoot, I don't even like asking for help. I'll get it out the mud myself if I have to, but I'll say at least try. Try. That's what I'm gonna say. At least try, at least if you can.
Yeah, so there's definitely a push now for men to, talk about their mental health and things like that. And I think they should as well. My only caveat is talk to other men who can relate to those problems.
Don't do
Still
that.
ain't gotta,
Don't
bruh,
do
you
that.
still ain't gotta break down to your
Drew,
girl.
lace up,
You
lace
don't have to,
up.
bruh. You don't have to break down to your girl. If you want to break down to a girl, go to a therapist. If she's female, she's female. Go to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say go to your homegirl because I don't think men and women can be friends like that. But that's a whole nother argument. But
Why?
They
bro, go
cannot.
to
They cannot. I'll
go.
say that right now. They cannot.
All right. Go to a therapist. If she's female, she's female. Cool. Talk to your mama. Talk to your cousin. Talk to
Hold
your
up. I'm
auntie. Talk to your
sorry.
sister. But
First
bro,
and
Okay,
do
no,
foremost,
not
we're
break
gonna talk
down. Do
about it. No,
not
we're
break
gonna talk
down.
about it.
Do not break down in front of your girl about no problems. You break down and talk to other men who can relate to those problems. Or if you really want to talk to a female, do it to your cousin, your sister, your auntie, your mom, whatever, bro. You do not have to do that in front of your girl.
oh my God, it's so many things that are coming out your mouth.
You
Jesus.
don't. No matter which way you look at it, you don't. Because if it's bills you breaking down about, if it's the pressure at work you breaking down about, why you gonna break down to the person that you supposed to be the rock to? Why don't you just go ahead and break down in front of your mom or your brother,
But
your cousin, or whatever, who can help? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come from a different
Because
perspective.
that's
Like,
also
bro, that
like
doesn't make sense, bro.
is
no,
that
but
not,
no,
the person you trust in though?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
your girl.
not the person that you
Bro,
supposed to have your back
that's
ride with you?
Yeah.
so y'all really want dudes that cry to y'all.
But
This is
no,
crazy. And
I'm not saying cry to me
I see.
every day. Like
I feel like if it's a constant thing of where he's crying every day, then that's a problem.
Bruh,
If
it
yeah,
you
I'm
ain't
crying
like,
a
gotta
you
little
be
bit
a
good?
of like milk
thing.
spilled over, then that's the problem.
I
But you
said the
It don't
can't
same
gotta
thing.
be
control.
a
You can't
it don't
control
gotta
when
be
you
a
having
thing.
a buildup of
Star, I'm gonna
emotion, and
elaborate.
you
I'm
just to
gonna
the fact
Star,
that
you
now
know.
Wait, hold on,
now
I'm not
you
gonna
break
say
down and you just happen to be in front of your
wait.
girl.
Yo, just so you guys are aware, because I know you guys probably have never used StreamYard like that. I understand this conversation getting good and stuff, but try to do it one at a time, only because when you guys speak over each other, some people cut out and stuff. So so the audience can be able to hear.
Sorry.
No, you're all good. You guys continue.
I was just
Uh,
telling Star, she already know. She already know.
Continue, Rain.
But yeah, I was saying you can't control if it's a buildup and you going through all this stuff and you feel like you going through a lot to the fact that you having a breakdown and just happen to be in front of your girl. Of course, well, she can't see you no differently. You going through a lot. You can't control when you have an emotional breakdown in front of somebody. You said you rather have an emotional breakdown in front of another man who may not go through the same situation that you're going through, or might not empathize, but as you stated, you said men are more logical rather than emotional. So why are you breaking down in front of a man who is not going to pick up that same emotion that you put down? Instead of rather than going to your girl, telling her what's up, let her know what she's doing or what's going on with you, so that way she can be like, hey, I can help you out with this, or is this something that you need assistance with? Because at the end of the day, we go through a relationship for assistance. It's a team effort, not a solo.
100%.
All righty.
So but don't you think that you just said why not break down in front of your girl instead of a man that can't relate to what you don't you think it's more likely that he'll be able to relate to what you got going on as opposed
to clarify what you said, I stated you cannot control when you break down. If it
but
happens to be in front of your girl, you will rather that than your homie.
You know when a breakdown is about to happen. Like you said, there's a buildup, bro. You know some shit is going on. It's up to you to go seek that help. That's like saying, somebody that's like on the brink of that stuff who can't stay on YouTube. Like, bro, you knew that was coming. It was up to you to get help. So that's the same thing I'm saying. Like, that breakdown is coming. Whatever it's about, you don't have to break down in front of your girl, bro. You don't have to, no matter how you look at it. And you shouldn't. Why?
But
what's the benefit? Tell me what's the benefit. I could tell you the cons. What's the benefit?
That's your partner. That's the whole purpose
That's not
of
a
them
benefit.
being
That's
there.
not a
building a
benefit.
connection.
What are you
That's
talking
not a
about? What's
benefit.
the
That's not a
benefit?
benefit. What's the benefit?
You
Being
building
a
a
partner is not a
connection.
benefit.
And as far as you saying you know what it is, it could be a simple. You might can hide it, and it might be a simple question if somebody asks you, "Are you okay?" Then you might be like, "Okay," and all that emotion and wall that you holding that depression and stuff
Bro.
in just falls off.
That's
So
when you
if
say,
in
"Nah,
time,
give me a minute," and you walk outside, bro.
That's pathetic.
That's your business.
I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. That's
That's
when you do that
pathetic.
move right
That's his
there.
business.
And then I'm looking on the Ring camera at you crying. That's pathetic. That's
Man,
embarrassing.
I'd rather that.
Come back in. I'm good.
No.
He said
That's
on
so
the
depressing.
camera.
Oh my god. Okay, so
No.
so let's actually go down there. First and foremost, I do want to say this, and I want to get this out the way. Men and women can have friends. Just because some of you motherfucking niggas like to put y'all pussies and dicks on other people and can't keep your cat in your pants or your doggy, keep your tail from wagging, that has nothing to do with other people having that self-control. No shade.
Let me reiterate. I feel like I don't like that girl best friend, guy best friend. Let me say that. You could have homegirls or guy friends if you're a girl, or girlfriends if you're a guy, but that's my guy best friend, or that's my girl best friend. Nope. I don't do none of that. All my guys have said I don't do that girl best friend shit. Nope. And
One
no,
question. Have you? Okay, so if we're gonna go to, let's go to. Have you fucked all of your guy best friends?
No. No, I have not. No, I have not.
I'm about to say.
I was rooting for you, man.
I have not. No, because if that's my best friend, I don't see you like that. That's why you my best friend. Now some homeboys, that's a different story. Well, one or two. But we gonna move on.
Man.
Oh my god, I'm living for this panel. I love y'all. Okay.
But best friend, no. If I put you in the best friend position, that means I'm not attracted to you at all. I'm not going.
But that's exactly why men and women should not be friends. How many best friends can you have at a time? One or two, right?
Yeah, that's how my one female best friend.
Who?
All right.
One.
All right. So you ain't even got no male best friends, but you saying if they just a homeboy, then that's a different story.
That's my past. I'm speaking from my past.
Yeah, men and women cannot be friends, bro. They cannot be homies. They can't be best friends. No, none of that.
We can be friends.
Okay. So would you say that you, and because now I'm trying to be a host, but you making this hard, so I'm about to get in the paint with you. So would you say you and Israel are homies and friends?
We're associates. We work together.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that there because I haven't introduced her to the panel.
Is that the same Israel that I know of?
That's my dog, but on an associate level.
Oh, I know. I'm about to say.
Okay, so I feel like this is implied, but we're gonna go down this rabbit hole. The reason why. Okay, so would you guys say that being what's the shit we was talking about, girl? I fucking forgot. Oh. Well, would you guys say that being that nurturing or that emotional, would you guys say that's a feminine trait? Did I go out?
No, you did it.
Okay.
We thinking. Somebody else. Usually I say something.
I thought I went out. I was like, you motherfuckers.
So you said, repeat it one more time.
So would you guys say the whole thing of nurturing and being in touch with your emotions, would you guys say that's a feminine trait or feminine traits with an S?
No.
I feel like it could be considered as. That's what we gain it from. We gain it from typically more females. And if it does go to males, we learned that from a female perspective majority of the time. But I feel like, I personally feel like,
Drew?
Yeah, you already know my answer. Yeah.
Alicia?
No, because of what I was saying earlier, though. But yeah, for sure.
Do you
still talking about the feminine trait?
Nurturing emotion or emotion considered as a feminine trait?
I feel like men could be nurturing if it comes to their children. I don't know about anything else. I don't know if I would classify that as a feminine trait. I don't know. Men could be in their emotions too. I've met a few sassy men in my lifetime.
Oh, it's so many rabbit holes, but I don't want to make this live too long. Okay, so if that's the case of that, well, just so you guys are aware, being in touch with your emotions. So here's the thing: when it comes down to the energies of masculinity and femininity, you have divine masculine and divine feminine. The divine masculine energy has to do with the action that you take, the action that you're, the physical, what's outside of your body, what you do, how you go about, it's all about action, doing. Now, when it comes down to the divine feminine, it's about self-actualization. So anything that has to do with the internal cognitive thought, creativity, emotions, feeling, those things have to do with the divine feminine, because we all possess those things. So question, based on the answers that I received, do you guys believe that men should be masculine? It should only be masculine?
No.
I don't even think they are, and that's not shady. It's not. That's actually not shady. But I believe that we are people born with not even competing energies that complement each other. You have some of us, like my friend on the bottom, that's trying to repress one of those energies, but you do have it within you. And that's one of the issues, is because we have both of these sides, we are a whole person. When you try to delete one, you're now half of who you could have been. You're broken, and you want somebody else to come and make you complete. No, you are already complete. You should have built on what you had, embraced it, and used both those energies to be the best version of you. You're not just one or the other.
I like you.
Down there, do you have anything to rebut that?
Do you ever bottle, Drew?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we look at what works. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, opposites attract. This is just like physics. This is science. I'm not making it up. Opposites attract. You get what I'm saying? So, feminine is feminine, masculine is masculine, yin and yang. It's not to say, and you know what's even crazier? And like, I'm not even speaking for like non-heterosexual relationships. Because even in those kind of relationships, I think, and I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can attack me or whatever. Not attack me, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I think there's even some kind of like, not general, but there's some kind of role between the two.
I would say you're
of the relationship,
partially right. Yeah. But exactly. But it's reasons why that, like, so I do agree that yes, opposites do attract, but when it comes down to same sex or queer people's relationships, it's based upon heteronormativity. So typically, what they see or what they've always see, they use that as the role.
The country show again.
I need to do better.
You said what?
Better.
Oh, I'm sorry. Alicia's internet went out. Let me stop. No, but I was gonna say that. Because StreamYard trying his best, so I don't speak, but it's all right. I'm gonna get this out. But I was gonna say, I don't fucking forgot what the hell I was saying after all that. Y'all continue.
No, but you were saying there is some kind of dynamic. There is some kind of role.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying too. Obviously, it's not like a different gender dynamic, but there's some kind of dynamic to where one person is, you know what I'm saying, more masculine and the other one's more feminine, so to speak. Like the roles are kind of, there's some, I don't know, but there has to be. And that's the same thing I'm saying with like heterosexual relationships. The man and the female are supposed to be that opposite, the yin and the yang, bro. Like why everything you said earlier about there not being this type of man, that type of man, that must mean they're more feminine, because you're saying there's not, those men aren't there, so they must be more feminine, and clearly that's an issue. So there has to be more men being men and women being women. That's it.
The yin yang was a good symbol that you used, because as you were saying. But you also got to realize the yin yang, there's a little bit of each in the other one.
Bruh, on, give me
There's
that.
a little
Amen.
Of course,
Amen.
but that's the minority, bro. It's an insignificant amount.
but it's
Ooh.
still something.
Significant amount.
Although it's a small amount, it's still something in you.
I didn't do well in science. That could be because I'm a female, but I didn't do well in science and math. But what
That's
I
probably
do
because you
know
just
is
didn't pay
that
attention.
gender is a social construct. It is not scientific. So if we're talking about gender roles being natural, they are not natural. We establish them in our respective societies.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. When it comes down to this whole masculine and feminine energy thing, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the girl, I already know this is gonna start cutting out, but I'm gonna be honest. I feel like that's the issue. One of the issues that queer heterosexual communities, like relationships, have is because you're putting all of your needs into the hands of other people.
Oh Lord.
Accomplished by yourself. Like, why do I want to have my financial well-being in the hands of another grown-ass adult? Why do I want to have my own emotional stability in the hands of another adult when I have the capability and ability to take care of that myself? So why is that? Like, why do we want our certain needs that we can fit ourselves? Not my dog's fighting in the background. Like, why do we want good? They're over there windmilling. Why do we want certain needs that we can fulfill ourselves handled by other people?
Because I hate responsibilities.
You being honest.
Thank you. Like most women do. Thank you. Like the majority of women do. You hate responsibility. I
Okay,
appreciate
wait a
that's
minute.
the first time she's been answered.
Wait
That's
a
the first
minute.
time
See,
she's
now I
been
gotta
honest
take
with
it
an
back.
answer.
Just like that, I gotta
No,
take it
you
back.
don't. Thank
Just
you.
like that. I said I hate responsibilities.
As
I
do
do.
most women.
Don't say
Ma'am,
majority of women. I like that we're saying women now, but don't say majority of women.
what we've been saying this whole time?
Females,
Females.
like you learned in science
Oh
class.
my God.
All right.
This guy.
But
Most
here's the
women.
thing. Like,
Mhm.
feminine, anything female must be docile, must have needs. Like, why do we think that this feminine? Why do we think this feminine entity must be weak and docile and not take care of responsibility? You are a grown ass adult.
Look, that's what femininity is. But I have a better question. Why do we demonize that word? Like, why is it such a bad thing for a female to be feminine? We always talk about men need to be more masculine. There's not enough men that this, that, and the third. Oh, and then when the man is actually masculine, it's toxic masculinity. Why can't we say we need more feminine women? Like, what's the issue with that? Why is it a sin? Why are you motherfuckers ready to get canceled because they say feminine and submissive? Like, what's wrong with those words? What is wrong with those things? Please tell me.
Okay,
Someone
so
please
let me
tell
just
me
step
what's
up
wrong
in
with
here.
being submissive, docile.
Woo!
Please.
Girl, let me just step up in here. I'm trying to be a host, but you making this hard. Okay, so when it comes, because we always get into it.
Speak your mind.
Because we always get into it. So here's the thing. When it comes down to the whole feminine and men saying we want you to be feminine, we want you to submit, we want you to da da da, and and when men are masculine, is considered toxic masculinity. And the reason why I know
You cut out. You cut
the
out.
idea, the reason why I know this because I'm queer. Did y'all hear that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the reason why is because whenever men claim their masculinity, it's coming from a toxic state that affects the culture. Because a lot of times from the longest, when it comes down to men and the way they showcase masculinity, the way that they present masculinity and they walk through with their masculinity, it's always a regard for. It comes from an egoic state of them being able to showcase their masculinity, but however, it never takes in regard to how their masculinity affects other people. Now, in terms of when it comes down to men saying we want women to be feminine, we want you to submit, that's key word for we want women to submit to our bullshit. That's what that is.
Sometimes it really feels like, I'm not gonna say demonized. I just feel like some of the men that be asking, they don't have no right to ask. I feel like that's not something that should be asked. You should do what you need to do to allow the woman to want to submit. To be honest, I don't think it's something you need to ask a woman to do. Do the actions that you need to do that will make a woman feel comfortable and more relaxed to where they will want to submit. That shouldn't have to be something that needs to be asked, to be honest.
Plus, that goes back to the statement that a lot of people, they want this leader role, but they don't know how to lead. So how can you want somebody that submits, but you can't lead properly? You want me to follow you, be broke down, got no house, living with your mama on the floor with her air mattress? Like, why would I follow you to do that?
So,
yeah, I don't know where you got this whole canceled and into dirty word thing. I think women are embracing their femininity a lot. I do it daily. Every day I wake up, I'm gorgeous, getting
She's
myself
trolling.
ready. I love being a woman. I love resting in my femininity. The issue is I'm a Black woman in America, so I don't get much rest. I'm not able to just chill out and lay back, be up in the kitchen, play with the dog, do all this and that, because I gotta go work. I don't want to work. I've already said this. I don't want to work. I don't want a paycheck. I don't. But I have to, because there's no person that I can depend. Our society isn't structured in a way where I can relax in my femininity, lay at home, and then somebody else is providing for me. I provide for myself. So it's not a bad word. It's just that you men have not put us in a position to where all we can do is just be feminine beings and relax. We have to be more, or else we don't survive.
that's the one.
All right, so
That's
we're
not
gonna
the
go
one.
down this.
Can I explain how that's not the one?
Okay.
So
Listen. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go.
nah, you're right. My apologize, man. Go ahead.
Go. You go, Ryan.
Nah, go ahead.
No, go Drew.
He forgot.
So, nah, I ain't forget. So I'm just saying. So men haven't put women in. No, I don't want to make it personal. But don't you think? All these men out here. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the ones that don't qualify. I know you don't like that word, but let's talk about the ones that do qualify. So you mean to tell me all the chicks that want men who can put them in a position to be submissive, because I don't know no feminine woman who's like conditionally feminine. A feminine woman is a feminine woman. Submissive woman is a submissive woman. That's who she is. Right? But my thing is, at what point do we say, maybe you're just picking the wrong guy?
Ooh.
These men exist.
I knew you was going to go there.
These men exist. But how about you can't pick and attain them? Not you. No, I'm not personal. I'm just saying. How about these women cannot?
Now make it personal. You trying to
No,
make it
absolutely
personal?
not.
No,
Make
absolutely
it
not.
personal.
Go to yes, Drew. You better go there. Go there.
Absolutely not. You, the
Let's
host.
do it. Let's do it.
know I'm
It's
not making it
Valentine's
personal.
Day. Let's do it for Cupid. Do it for Cupid.
No, that wasn't personal at all. I'm just saying you as in women. You know what I mean? Like, but in general, like, at what point do we say y'all just don't know how to pick? Y'all don't know what to look for. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, y'all can't keep the one that you do pick. Like, when do we bring it down to that? Instead of the old story, oh, where are they? They don't exist. They're there. You just don't interact with them. Not you, but I'm just saying.
But you act like men have signs on their forehead that says, I'm a good man.
That's the same way. That's the same way I could say, oh, I'm supposed to know that this woman is not a Tatiana out here. I don't know that either, but it's up to me, right? It's up to me to get to know her and make sure she qualifies.
She got the job. So like you said in the beginning of the conversation, men are deciding who's getting married, right? You're saying that men are gatekeeping marriage. So are men also gatekeeping the relationship? Is the onus on men to find these women that they prefer? Or is it our responsibility to go find these mythical beings in the middle of the street? So whose job is it?
Men are the gatekeeper of relationships and marriage, as women are the gatekeepers to sex and childbirth. So if woman wants relationship, she has to qualify for said relationship.
She has to
I think
qualify, right?
it's just like not every woman is supposed to be a wife. Not every woman is a wife.
Mhm.
If you ask every girl on this planet if she thinks she deserves to be a wife, she's gonna say yes. But let's be real,
Mhm.
that's not true.
Mhm.
Just like if you ask every man, yo, you deserve to be a millionaire, you deserve to have bad bitches, he gonna say, yeah, bro probably ain't been to the dentist in 4 years,
Hell yeah.
but somehow he deserve a bad bitch.
Right.
No, it's simply not the case.
So
You
these
understand
men,
what I'm saying?
Men say
do we
no.
submit our resumes to their LinkedIn, or is there a way that we can make sure that we qualify in order to fill the position? Because I have been in different types of circles, like in different spaces, and it's very, 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 very rare that you meet a man that is without child, that is mentally stable, that cannot do drugs, that has not been affiliated with a gang, that has not ever gone to jail, that may have some education. It is very rare. But if you're telling me that I'm just somehow missing these men because I don't qualify, and I have to update my resume because I do have Microsoft Word. So if you're telling me that that's all I need to do to go ahead and make sure I qualify, then how would a woman like myself come across these men?
All I'm saying is, if
Mhm.
this is if your current resume is putting you in front of these type of men, then yes, you need to update your resume.
Okay.
It's not the men, it's the men you're around.
Okay. This all makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
wait.
the men, it's the men you're around.
Okay, wait, hold up, wait.
From you say ain't been to jail and all
Mhm.
this kind of stuff, ma'am, where are you hanging out? There's so many men that haven't been to jail.
He was just giving an example.
So here's the thing.
There's 2 million of them in the army.
The jail
And that's
bar
just the
is
army
low.
alone.
Like that's the low bar. You know, like that's just, you can hop over that bar, you can skip over it. But what I'm saying is I don't just want the bare minimum. So not to,
Right,
you know,
but you
whatever. I
deserve it
went
all.
to Howard for a little bit. So I was around
Period.
students that were working towards their education, right? So it wasn't just enough that, okay, you didn't go to jail, marriage material. I also want you to be emotionally intelligent. All this whole let me go cry in the car type stuff, that's not a man that I want to be with. A man that uses his anger, his physicality to express himself, that's not a man that I want to be with. So when I'm saying hasn't gone to jail, doesn't do drugs, doesn't have children, that's just the start. But when I start asking for more, then my options begin to dwindle because the options right here, you kind of just got to settle for what's out there. But you're saying it's my resume, so I'm going to take that criticism and I'm gonna work on my resume.
Come on, resume. Come on, credit score.
I'll say this real quick.
And then wait, but then after you say what you need to say, I want to get Rain up in here.
All right. Yeah, I'm up to just 2 seconds. I will say this. As far as like where you find these men and how do you find them, these mythical creatures and all this stuff, on a serious note, I would say this is where perhaps a father figure, or if you didn't grow up with your father, have a healthy relationship with your father, perhaps not you personally, I'm just saying in general.
My daddy did either.
Or you know, no, listen, now hear me out. You know, a father figure, a brother, cousin, a male that you can trust. You know, I'm not a homeboy. I'm talking about someone who legitimately doesn't want to have sex with you. You get what I'm saying? And you find that type of man that you have that trust and relationship with, and you have him vet this man if you want to take men seriously and potentially get married to this man. You have another man that you're close to, vet the man that you're interested in, because the man that you're close to, i.e. your father, big brother, or whatever, they have no sexual interest in you. They are the only people from you. Look, as a woman, once you are born, literally the only couple people that don't want to have sex with you is your dad and siblings. Every other man on this planet potentially wants to have sex with you. So these are the men that should be vetting other men for you. They're men. We do this. We bullshit, so therefore we can detect it. But I'll leave it at that. My bad. I don't want to take up too much time. This is
Rain, let me get you up in here to make sense of it all. What are your thoughts?
So quite frankly, I kind of agree a little bit. Well, I kind of agree a little bit with both parties. A little bit of both parties. Reason because he did make some good points about at a certain point it is your choice to pick who you be in a relationship with. But at the same time, there's not a lot of people to pick from. So I do agree with also Leah as well. I feel like, quite frankly, come back to me.
Alicia, let's get you in here.
Come back to me while I get my thoughts right.
Alicia, come make sense of it all. What are your thoughts? Because they
What
over here, the girls and the boys are fighting. What's going on? They
am I making sense of? They said, and I agree with her.
I agree with her. Okay, so I have a question for the panel. Okay, so the people that the reason I want to get into this submission conversation, why should women submit, and should men submit to women as well?
I mean, if you're a dominatrix or something.
The floor is open.
I feel like to an extent, it's all conditional. Typically, at certain points where men are going to submit to their partner, even like over like little petty arguments, one party got to submit for it to be a resolution. As far as submission, I feel like nobody should really be in full submission, because when I think of submission, to be honest, I kind of think of a pet. When I hear that, I kind of think of I kind of think of a pet typically, because you say that to you will say that to a dog. Your dog is submissive, so to relate that to your girl, how are you really trying to portray her?
So according to the American Psychological Association, using their definition just because psychology is my background, it's saying that submission is compliance with or to surrender to the requests, demands, or will of others. So you are surrendering and you're in compliance with their demands.
And what's the issue with that? Now that we know the definition. Thank you for that. But I'm saying though, what you submit to your employer every day. Why can't you submit to your man? Because he ain't paying you every 2 weeks? I just don't get it. Like, why do we demonize words in certain contexts when the word means the word? You submit to your employer every single day. When you was in school, in college, you was submitting to your professors, the dean, every single day. You submit to the government every single day. But when a man who's sharing intimate moments with you, who's laying next to you, who's willing to put his life on the line for you, why is it so hard to submit to him?
Well, you really just explained it, because it's more personal. If I'm going to a job or to school, those are both institutions that I can walk away from and find something or someone that serves me better. I'm paying them, so they have a requirement to me as well that they need to meet. When it becomes personal and I'm surrendering my personhood, my body to you, that's not something I play about. That's something that I can't get another one of. I can't just walk away and start over. Some women don't come back from the traumatic relationships that they go through submitting to a man that was not worthy of that type of respect. So when these men are not raised out here to be leaders, to protect our femininity, to protect us as people, and we're submitting to that, we are losing ourselves. And so that's not an easy task. That's why we don't just submit to these men out here.
Why are women with men that they're not willing to submit to? I'm so confused. Why are you picking these men? I just don't get it. These men that you talk about, why are so many women picking them? So that means y'all don't know how to pick. It goes back to what I was saying. Y'all need a male figure in y'all life to help y'all vet these men.
Right. So
what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I have a father. I just talked to him
I
today.
didn't say you
But
didn't,
anyway,
man.
what
I'm
I'm
just
saying is,
saying.
what I'm saying is, you literally just said women are not submitting. So women are getting with men, but they are not submitting to them, and that's what you're mad about. I'm not
No,
mad at that.
I'm confused as to
Mhm.
why women are getting with men that they're not willing to submit to. That means you don't
I just
respect them all the
explained
way.
to you
The
why
real
they don't
question.
feel comfortable submitting.
Yeah,
But
that's
why are
the real.
you with him?
You can be,
Why'd you
because
pick
we
him?
don't treat relationships as the like biblical standards anymore. We get in relationships for various reasons. Back in the day,
So
sure,
that means it's
people were
all reasons to
submitting.
benefit you then, I'm sure. Because if you're with
Mhm.
a man who you don't respect all the way enough to submit to, then that means whatever you're getting from that relationships is purely for selfish reasons.
Sure, people get in relationships for selfish reasons. Sure,
Let
that's
me step
fine.
in. Let me
But what
step
I'm saying is that's why you're not seeing submission anymore, because these are not men that will be submitted to. So you'll play with them, you'll sleep with them, you'll take their money. That's fine. That's a relationship in 2023. That's cool. But you will not see submission unless that man is someone worth submitting to. We already
So here,
established that people are wasting their times with other people.
100%. So
Okay.
men, stay away from these women. Listen,
Oh my God. Not on Valentine's
listen,
Day.
listen. Holy crap. That's crazy. So listen to what she said. Absolutely, I'll submit to my employer because what I can walk away and replace these folks. As if you can't walk away, as if most of y'all ain't walking away from relationships anyway, right? But because you're paying the institution, you can walk away at any time. But the man that you're giving your body up to, the man that you pick to lay down next to, this is the man you can't submit to. So you'll be careful where you spend your money. You'll make sure a place that you'll want to
Yes.
submit to. You only apply for jobs that you are willing to submit at. You're willing to work there because they're paying you enough. But a
Mm.
woman is picking men to lay down and give her body to that is not worthy of submission. That's crazy.
Let's revisit the definition one more time for good measure. So, submission is compliance with or surrender to the requests, demands, or will of others. So, in a
Your boss.
workplace, submission looks like I'm following the rules that I agreed to. I am surrendering to the laws that I abide by as a citizen and as a person, as an employee of this establishment. That's what submission looks like in the workplace. In school, it's the same thing. I will not shoot anybody in my school. I am surrendering to that request. Sure. In a relationship, if I'm surrendering to the will of my husband and he wants to do whatever he wants, and I'm not, no, not, let's not say husband because it's a different thing. But the men, you said the men that women are giving their bodies to. If you don't trust that man, but you do want to sleep with him because there are people out there that do that, you should not, like, they're not submitting, they're not surrendering because your body is a much bigger deal than you surrendering to the rules of a college campus.
But based on
So,
what you said before, that's not like that's not what you're saying.
I got a
And like
question.
a
okay.
woman,
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
wait.
I got a
One
question.
second. Oh,
So, based off of y'all explanations, are y'all seeing the relationships as mainly sexually, or is it just a sexual relationship, a
Well,
full relationship?
when I was thinking of surrendering to requests and demands, that sounds a lot like I want to use your body when I feel like it. I want you to have my house a certain way when I come home. I want you to have my clothes. Like those are my requests. I guess it's not just sexual, but my example was sexual.
yeah. So I wasn't thinking just sexual only. And if the man wants, what did you
The reason I
say,
asked,
clothes washed or whatever? Like, what is wrong with that? If your employer said they want you here at 0 dark 30, you're gonna be there. Well, like, what?
If that is
Why?
the
You know what I'm saying?
agreement to
I
a
can think.
husband, to a man that is providing for you and all your needs are met and you have made an agreement, then sure. But
But
we're not
why are
talking
women
about
picking
married
men that's
couples.
not the
We're talking
case?
about people in relationships today. And those women are not submitting, and you are mad. And I'm explaining to you why this
I'm
is
not
not
mad.
happening. I'm just
I got
I'm
a
not mad.
explaining. I'm just a
I'm not
messenger.
mad.
Okay.
y'all
question.
are funny as hell.
I got a question. He keeps asking why these women aren't willing to submit to these men. The real question is, what are these men not doing that's making women comfortable and more willing to submit to them? I ain't hear you answer that yet.
I want to add on to that a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as I know we talked about females, women submitting to men, but based off his definition of what females submitting to, should we say the same thing for men? Isn't men submitting to those doing the same thing? Is men submitting as well to a woman?
I would say yes. Yes.
Girl, I'm trying to be the host, girl.
I say yes.
Oh,
was that for me directly?
That was for
That was for why?
My question.
Somebody said something.
Yeah, it was a two-part
question. So answer Alicia's question first. I'm gonna repeat her question. Her question is that you're talking about women not being able to submit, but however, what is it that these men aren't doing that these women feel comfortable not submitting?
Yeah, and I'll answer that question by going back to saying, why are you picking these men? When does it come down to the men that you're picking? That's like, this is exactly what I'm saying, bro. Like, we got children out of wedlock. We got women having 2-3 kids by 4 or 5 different guys.
Not having
and it's like,
themselves.
And there's nothing wrong, bro. And again, there's nothing wrong with single women. I ain't talking shit about, single moms. All I'm saying is, bro, at what point do you say, okay, maybe, you feel me, I have more control over the situation than I think? You feel me? Like, if you're, go ahead.
I hear what you said, but you saying it more as black and white. You have to also realize that these people that they trying to get in a relationship with, they're not showing all that they are. They're not going to tell you on that first date, I got 3 kids.
100%.
I got 2 baby mamas back in the day.
100%.
And it goes back.
We'll show you what you want to hear so that way we can get what we want to get. So,
and it goes back to what I said. Women need to have a male figure in their life that is able to vet these men. You know what the problem is? These girls want to sneak and fuck. These girls want to sneak and fuck, so they don't introduce the men that they, you know what I'm saying, dealing with. They know they're not picking men that's anything, but they picking
God.
So they don't want to bring them to get vetted. And then they go off with a sneaky link and get pregnant and like, bro, come on, this is like happening every day in front of our face, bro. Like, I don't know why it's so shocking.
Yeah, it is happening out there in the world, but at the same time, why don't some of these females have those father figures in their life? What are those fathers doing?
I can't tell you, bro. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. At the end of the day,
we gotta be held accountable.
At the end of the day, bro, listen, we could point the fingers all we want, but I know if a female, if I got access to a relationship and marriage, it's my fault if I marry a crazy bitch. I didn't vet her properly. Excuse my French. I didn't vet her properly. Just like if a female dates a dude who ain't shit and get pregnant and this and that, and he, treat her like whatever, that's on her. She has, but she gave access to the poom poom.
Did you say vet her properly?
Huh?
Did you say vet her properly? Mm-hmm. You didn't what?
Vet.
Yes, didn't vet her properly. It's my fault. If I end up with a crazy woman or anything like that, bad intention,
she crazy,
it's my fault. It's my fault. I did not vet her properly. But if a female ends up with a dude that ain't shit, she picked him. She let him in between her. That's on her. As much as it would be on me, if I pick a crazy woman as my wife or baby mother, it'll be her fault as well for dealing with a dude that's not nothing. Bro, you know the nigga work at McDonald's when you went through the drive-thru.
Well,
why is he the one you want? Because he got dreads.
Not the same thing as vetting.
Because he got dreads and sell drugs on the side and make music on SoundCloud. Like, bro, this
is the reason why we are. You already know We get into it bad whenever we have to be. Okay, so here's the thing. The conversation surrounding women, quote unquote, choosing better. Yes, that is a conversation that does hold truth, but however, there is a time and place. For more context, I always tell women to believe what you see. Stop putting your faith in these niggas. If he's showing you he ain't shit, the nigga ain't shit. Now, on the flip side of that, I also want to say this is that when these conversations, us as men, we also have to address the toxicity within the mind because men show up all types of ways. Men. This is the reason why you can have like 2 Chainz who maybe a bad example of what a man is, but also you can also have somebody like that showcase themselves as like someone like Kevin Samuels that wear suits and ties, but however, he's still a piss poor example. Piss poor example for what a man is too, and the same thing goes for Derrick Jackson. All these men look different, showcase, show up different, but yet they all have something. They have something in common. So, at what point, us as men, when are we going to have that conversation to really do the mythology that we're teaching to our sons, or actually not even that, to our homeboys? Because social, girl, I'm over here. I'm trying to reach for it. Social peer socialization is much more stronger than what your parents taught you. Most of the time, you're going to be formed more by what you and your friends do than what your parents actually teach you. That's the reason why you have parents that are conservative, you have parents that are Christian, you have parents that are like, oh no, you're gonna grow up to be this way. But however, the child may actually turn out to be something completely different. So at what point, when are we going to have that conversation as men to address the toxicity that's very much prevalent?
I think Drew needs to start with the man in the mirror. And I say that I say that because he's literally the definition of the problem. It's like you're talking about vetting better. Vetting is a lifelong process. People literally, change like the seasons. So when you're saying don't show your woman your vulnerable side, go walk away, I'm thinking this whole time, I got a strong man. He never complains. He never cries. Nothing hurts him. He gets everything done. Meanwhile, he's going in the corner, taking a razor to his wrist and crying. I don't know that man. How am I going to vet him when you're telling men to go hide this side of them? Then I'm thinking I have someone that I don't have. So you can't say vet better. You should have picked better when you're telling men to hide who they really are and how they really react to things.
Yeah. I appreciate how you took it to the extreme with slicing of wrists and corners and things like that. Like I stated earlier, I mean, yeah, if a man has a problem, he should discuss that problem amongst other men who can help him and provide a logical solution. And the one thing that I did wanted to touch on, the last time we were kind of talking about this and bro ended it. It's like he made a comment saying like, why wouldn't I want to bring it to my girl who's going to provide me with a emotional response or whatever, because an emotional response isn't going to solve the problem. A logical response is. So that's why you bring these problems up amongst other men who can help you, and it's not emotionally invested in you, and it's kind of inclined to tell you what you want to hear instead of what the F needs to happen. You get what I'm saying? So I mean,
why bring it outside your relationship? That's my question.
Bro, it's amongst other men.
Why bring it towards other men,
right?
When you can bring it towards your woman? You rather another man solve your problem for your household rather than you or your girl.
Listen, I rather speak to another man who's more than likely been in that situation and can help me get out of it or understand my plight. A woman, I don't understand woman problems. I will never be able to fully explain, you know what I'm saying, what my little girl shouldn't doing when she's going through that phase. Just like the same way a female don't know that, you know, when young men start going to the little porta potties in the bathroom, he's not supposed to fucking drop his pants to his ankles. Women never tell these young boys that. You get what I'm saying? Like, women never tell these young boys that, but they don't know that. It's not necessary. You get what I'm saying? This is where father comes into play. So I'm going to speak to other men who understand man problems.
So hypothetically speaking, what scenarios would you rather talk to another man about?
If God, perfect. Let's say financial issues. So financial problems, yeah. I would, before I bring my financial problems to my girl, I'm gonna bring it to another dude to see what can be done.
But why
am I gonna say if go ahead?
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Think about this. Think about this. If you're living with a girl, right, and she's paying all the bills and everything like that, and you just chilling, you living good, you on your daddy daycare, whatever, and one day she come to you and she be like, man, you know what I'm saying, I just got laid off, or she run a business and something happened and now profits is cut in half, and bro, keep in mind, y'all living expenses is y'all living expenses. You wasn't working, whatever. How would that make you feel? And she's crying about it and woo, woo, woo. Is that going to make you feel secure in any kind of way? And this is probably a bad example because I'm putting you in kind of like that female situation. But I think anybody, male or female, could say like, bro, that's going to bring doubt. You get what I'm saying? And as a female, bro, once you're with a man and you start to have shadows of doubt, that's not necessarily the man that you want to, that's not the one that you're going to feel extremely confident and secure in. I rather just have a girl view me as the super. I might not be the superhero all the time, but it's best that she looks at me that way. Why wouldn't I want her to look at me that way constantly? I don't have to be that all the time. When I go out back and I, you know what I'm saying, take off my cape and I'm with the homies and I'm breaking down and whatever. But around my girl, I'm Superman. Around my daughter, I'm Superman.
Yes, around children. Around children who don't know better. Yes, you are.
I see. I understand that you want to be viewed as Superman, but at the same time, if you're talking about, we're gonna go back to your scenario with financial issues where you're discussing with another person. I feel like, why are you discussing something that's between you and your girl, your financial issue inside your household, to another man per se? Not saying that he's making, even if he is making money. I understand you get financial advice, but at the same time, what he don't know, another person might know. So you're telling me if a female, hypothetically speaking, a multimillionaire out here, you know, making so much money, it could help you way better with your financial problems than your homie, you're not gonna talk to her. Bruh, even if that's your girl, you're not gonna talk to her.
Bruh, if she knew a multimillionaire who was just cool like that, chances are, bruh, she wouldn't be with you. She'll probably be with him, bro.
Your money gone. She crying down, breaking down to you because
so that's not even a scenario.
Well,
but no, I'm going based off of your scenario.
If he had it and then lost it, okay. My bad. I thought you were just saying, all right, so if he had it and then lost it and she knows somebody, whatever. Well, first of all, like I said before, but it's up for another discussion, men and women can't be friends. So I would already think that's suspect. But anyway. My thing is like I said before, bro, there's absolutely no point, no reason in breaking down in front of your female. There's just no benefit. I've yet to hear a benefit. I've yet to hear a pro. There's no pros.
So a woman can decide if you are the man for her or not. That's a benefit for her. You literally just said women need to choose better. Women need to vet. Women need to pick better.
100%. That's the benefit for her. But I'm talking about the men. There's no benefit in a man breaking down in front of his girl. There's none. It doesn't do anything. Listen, you don't even have whether and then
there
like you say, like you say, perfect. There's health benefits. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you want to talk to somebody about it? Sure, that's why you go see a therapist, bro. So you do not. No matter which way you look at it, you don't got to break down in front of your chick. You don't.
So
Just like how you don't
got
have to tell your
one little small tiny question. One tiny question.
And then
So,
and then after this, I
yeah.
kind of do want to shift the conversation a little bit.
What makes you so comfortable to cry in front of another man?
Bruh.
This is a tiny question. Just that
no,
might be
yeah,
repetitive.
bruh.
Yeah.
When I say cry, bruh, I don't necessarily.
Oh,
When I
break
say
down.
cry, I just mean bitch and complain, whine. You know what I'm saying? Let it out. If a tear fall, a tear fall. But I'm not saying it necessarily. Me breaking down don't necessarily got nothing to do with me being in tears. My breakdown is different. You get what I'm saying? So
I see that you breaking down in front. Well, you having that breakdown in front of your homie because you have that trust for your homie. So you're saying you don't have that as much as trust for your woman as you do for your homie?
yeah, I trust that she would look at me different and possibly leave because I'm not that nigga no more. So guess what? I'm gonna continue being that nigga. I'm not
And at that
breaking
point,
down in
wouldn't
front
it
of
be
my
that
girl.
the man chose wrong?
No, bro. It's just the dude not wanting to show weakness in front of a female. There's
But
nothing wrong with that, bro.
if you having to hide your true self to the person that you
But
kind of
why is
consider
that
and
my
make
true
your
self? Who said that's my
girl or
true
your
self?
wife, why are you hiding that from them? But you expected them to give you your all, give you their all.
But when you say hiding my true self, like, what do you mean? What do you mean hiding
I'm
your
just
true self,
saying
bro?
you suppressing your emotions to consider this
No,
logical role,
no,
but
it's
at
not.
the same time you're hiding yourself from your partner. So
No.
why are you not fully giving yourself to your partner or the person that you're trying to build this relationship with?
What? All right. Let me ask you this: if you was with a girl, right, and y'all were together for X amount of years, a significant amount of years, to where if she did something that would hurt, and she cheated on you, she had sex with another man, would you rather her tell you, right, when it happened and whatever, and she promised it'll never happen again type stuff, or would you just prefer not to know about it and live the rest of your life? And she never do it again. She just did it that one time. She never told you about it, but never did it again. Would you rather live the rest of your life like that, or have her cheat on you and then tell you?
Oh my gosh.
To be honest, I'd rather her tell me.
I'd rather you why.
Full honesty.
Rather that full honesty.
That's spicy.
But this is the girl of your dreams, though. This is the one you want to be with.
That if she can she can look me in my face and tell me she cheated on me, she wasn't the one for me. That's time for you to look for a next.
So it was absolutely necessary, even though she brought you the peace that you needed. Like, and the only reason why you're not having peace now is because you picked this option. You want her to tell you.
Like there's not a million different people that can supply that same peace that she did.
No. Well, okay, you're right. You're right on that. You're right on that, because women are far more irreplaceable than successful men.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He loves to trick up this panel, girl.
But look, man, at the end of the day, ultimately at the end of the day, right? There's just simply, okay, my thing is, a woman might respond favorably. You know what? You might be lucky enough to have one of these lovely ladies on the panel right here where they completely overlook it, they take it in stride, they feel you, and they rocking with you, right? But then there's also a lot of women that's not gonna look at you the same way. So my suggestion is, as a dude, don't even do it. Like, why take that chance? Just don't do it. It's not saying hold your feelings in and bottle it up and then blow up one day. Bro, just go. If you really want to talk to a female so bad, go talk to your auntie. Go talk to your mom. Go talk to your sister. Go talk to a therapist, bro. You don't gotta break down in front of your girl, bro. You don't. It's not necessary.
Okay, so y'all, what I'm about to do right now, this link I'm about to drop, it's for Red Clark. The link I'm about to drop is for Red Clark. The reason why I'm not going to allow a lot of other people to come up on the panel is because this panel about to end soon. No shade. But he also has similar experiences or thought processes as Drew, in a sense. So I would love for him to come up on the panel and articulate those things. Anybody else that ends up in this in this back room, you will be kicked from this back room. Just give you guys a heads up. This is for Red Clark. You let's get Conscious in here. Conscious, what's going on?
Not much. Just waking up out of a Valentine's Day slumber. I've listened to the panel. I'm very proud of the women, but the men made me want to be a lesbian all over again.
Oh my God. Come on, lesbianism. Yes. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Well, I don't know. How much have you seen?
I've been in the bushes probably for the past 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? Like in terms of the conversation? Besides you becoming a lesbian.
I agree with Dalia. I don't understand how men can be two-faced and yet, to Dalia's point, there's an expectation to like choose better, to do better, but men are grooming men not to even show up fully because they believe that it's a sissy to even show up with the other half of themselves, which would make their self-actualization come full circle. And then there's this whole choose better situation. How are we going to choose better when there's literally like more women than there is men literally in population? And then when you account for the Black men who are incarcerated, same gender loving, dead, who have a credit score lower than 500, and all these other variations that completely like shrink the dating pool, how the hell, like what dating pool are women choosing from? And then we wonder why women are in and then we wonder why women are in polygamous and polyamory relationships and being sister damn wives, because there's only one good damn qualified eligible bachelor to every 20 women.
So to answer one thing, or kind of rebuttal one thing that you touched on is well, the problem what you initially stated is that men aren't raising men nowadays. So you stated that as if men were raising men not to be men. The problem is men aren't raising their young boys nowadays. The home is split and custody always favors the woman. Now, we're not going to sit here and argue for what reason. Let's not even debate what reason,
exactly
but the fact still remains that men are not in the homes of these young men. Men are necessary in homes. They keep young boys out of jails and girls off stripper poles or OnlyFans. Like, let's just be real.
Oh my God.
This is what the father figure does or is supposed to do in the house. So men aren't raising boys because the homes are split now, and this is just a fact. We can look at the statistics.
Yeah, whose fault is that? Because men are in control.
But that's a whole nother. I'm not even gonna go there. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm about to. So let's talk about
it. Be on it for a whole hour.
Why are men? Whose fault is it that niggas not in the home?
I don't like to.
Whose fault is it? Who's in control of men's reproductive system? Because y'all will put onus on the woman, but y'all are just as in control of who y'all skid off in and whose club y'all shoot up. So if y'all out here making babies and y'all not properly vetting the Black women y'all sleep with, and y'all not properly analyzing and pulling whole forensic docuseries on the vaginas y'all run up in, then y'all have to take onus for the ultimate outcome of doing such a thing. Because I've heard all about how women need to choose better, but it sounds like these niggas need to do the very same.
Yeah, I would agree that men do need to control where they decide to, like, who they decide to have children with or lay their seed. But I will also say this. We have to remember that the male dating strategy or reproductive strategy versus the female dating and reproductive strategy is completely different. Men are built from the beginning of the time to spread their seed far and wide. It's about quantity, not quality. For women, their dating strategy is not quantity over quality. It's quality over quantity. They're designed to pick the best men they can find and group up on him and build. They're not designed to. That's why they get pregnant once every 9 months. A guy can get someone else pregnant every day, hell, every 4 hours. You get what I'm saying? We're designed, our mating and reproductive strategy is completely different. So to go back to what you were saying, yes, I do agree that men should not be skeeting off in just anybody. But at the same time, any girl that does have a child outside of wedlock, that is her fault. Any woman that's with a man who's not in her baby's life, and that's her.
It couldn't
She
be, sir. It
controls
couldn't be.
access.
It couldn't be, sir.
She controls access to
It
sex and
couldn't be.
reproduction.
It couldn't be. It's a shit.
100% in control
It
of
could.
sex and
It
reproduction.
couldn't be.
No man can legally have sex with a woman without her consent or being voluntary.
So which way do y'all want it? On one
Same
end,
thing with a baby.
on
No
one end, women need is woman's responsibility and is woman's reproductive and is woman's everything. But at the same time, you niggas want equal creative right at the table of the custody and the raising of the children and who the children should be with, etc. So on one end, y'all want 50-50, but then on the other end, 100% onus is on the woman when she gets pregnant.
Why wouldn't we want to see our child when we go into custody? What's happening now is custody is being given to the women overwhelmingly,
And should be.
child support is being paid out from man to woman, regardless if he has it or not. And you also have to remember, women are in complete control of who they sleep with and get pregnant by. No woman can be a mom without her agreeing to be a mom, so to speak. And we're talking about everything consensual here. A woman can literally make a man a father before he wants to be a father. If I get a girl pregnant, absolutely will. I was in a response. Hold on. Let me finish. Me, right? I could go ahead and get busy with a girl, get her pregnant. You are 100% right. I should have wore protection. I should have done the pull-out method. Whatever the case is, you're right about that. But guess what? After I ejaculate inside that woman, guess who has full control after that? If I say, girl, look, ma, I'm not ready to be a dad. I don't want to do this. I can't do this. If she likes me more than I like her, that could have been just some little female I was doing my thing with. If she likes me more than her and she wants to have my baby, guess what's going to happen? She's going to have my baby. If she's ready for me to become a dad, I am going to become a dad. No female can become a woman before she's ready.
No, not necessarily. No. It's a false equivalency for me. Just because you become a paycheck by force, but you do not become a father by force.
Fine.
Okay, because
but you get what I'm saying. I could become a parent.
No, you don't. No, you don't become. No, that's the thing. You don't become a parent. The system only affords you to financially contribute. But if you don't want to actually parent, if you don't actually want to be a participant in that child's life, you actually don't have to. The state don't require you to have custody. What it does require you to do is make sure that what's in your wallet contributes to the milk in that baby's mouth, the clothes on that baby's ass, and the roof over that baby's head. And then secondly, see, you done said so much bullshit. My brain is glitching.
Y'all are funny. I'm be honest with y'all. I live for everybody on this panel. Y'all are giving me spiciness. I'm here for it. Period. Y'all.
Damn bitch.
I'm gonna let my plane come on.
Give you buck. Okay, now we have Red Clark. What's going on, Red Clark?
What's up with it?
What's going on?
What's up
now,
with
I
it?
saw you in the chat. You seem like you had similar. I'm gonna say experience.
Only one person.
Like from what you said. So, what are your thoughts on the conversation?
He had half.
I agree with the don't. If you can, don't cry in front of the woman, because like I say, like women have this thing, not all, majority, and it's some unicorns like the people that's on the panel, but if I'm dating, I'm not gonna date my dating strategy isn't gonna be for the outliers, it's gonna be for the majority. So if I know majority of women will view me different for being overly quote unquote overly emotional, why would I risk that if the risk is like if the reward isn't bigger than the risk? You see what I'm saying? And like women have this thing of trying to police a man's feelings. So who's to say that I lose my job, but this job is something that I really wanted to do, or like say it's a business, I lose a business opportunity or some shit like that, and it makes me so overly emotional that I want to cry. But to her, it's probably not a big deal to her. So she like why the fuck you crying? Like nigga, go find another job or go get another opportunity. And that's right. But at the same time, this how I'm feeling right now. But because I expressed that emotion in that type of way, she's subconsciously looking at me different. Oh, like versus the woman, she can cry about anything just because she woke up don't feel pretty today. You know, like and me as the man, I can't belittle her feelings, but I can't look at her different. But she she would look at me different if I woke up on the side like wrong side of the bed today. You know, I can't wake up on the wrong side of the bed because I'm gonna be looked at crazy, but we're human. Like sometimes I do wake up on the other side of the bed. However, I have to be stoic within that feeling to 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 be that, you know, like in stressful situations, the man I believe in the relationship dynamic, the man is the is looked at as the order in the Midas of chaos. So if I'm chaotic, overly emotional, how can she trust me in a stressful situation to stand up within that? If and even if I cry for a justifiable reason, she still has a probability of look. There still is a probability of her looking at me different due to the fact that I did did that in front of her. So that's what I'm saying on that. Like, if you find a girl that you can express your emotions to, that's great. Keep her. You should have bought her a teddy bear today. But if not, if not, then you know, like you risk the chance of and like it can and it cannot even be something that I believe she would. It can happen subconsciously, not like consciously. Like she can have every intention to not look at you like this, but due to the fact I ain't never seen my grandpa cry, I ain't never seen my daddy cry, I ain't never seen the other dudes I talked to cry, but this nigga crying. So, so all of that, I'll say like, don't like if you find another way to regulate those strong emotions, and even if it is talking to her about it, find a way to articulate yourself in a manner that you can talk to her about it or express yourself without full-fledged crying or becoming overly overly emotional as
So,
as she would do.
okay, I got a question. So, based off of our question beforehand, is you should not break down in front of your girl. Now you're stating that people are over emotionally. Now we already clarified that over emotional is not what we was talking about. Now, if your man is crying over spilled milk or spilled salt, then that's a problem. That's a problem. But if it's something that he is truly passionate about, and is something happened to that passion, and he's coming to you and breaking down to you, you should be able to accept that. Now, I'm not saying that all women do this. Some women, are I see your man cry. Yeah, I don't want him. I don't want that kind of relationship. But that just stays that woman wasn't right for you.
if you gotta hide your emotions, which is the key point to a whole relationship, is about sharing emotions with each other. Now, it is great that a man could be logical in that relationship, but at the same time, if what's the point of the relationship if you're not sharing emotions? It's not being overly emotional if you're expressing how you feeling, or if you're angry, or if you're sad, if it's a lot and you just break down, you can't control that. Now, as far as what he was stating, Mr. Drew, he was stating that you should be able to control that and walk out, cry or talk to your homie, as somebody in the same situation that you was put into. But you cannot control that. You cannot control where you get all your emotions from. You cannot. And if your girl is there, you will rather it be in front of your girl who you trust and respect. Why go to somebody else to share that emotion with than her? This is a person that you try to spend your life with. Why not include her?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you all ever went swimming in the summer at the public pools, but there's a certain time in the middle of it when they say we need to clean the pool, everybody get out. That's the time that we're in right now. Everybody get out of the dating pool so we can clean it. There's pee in it. We got to get rid of it. These men are out here trying to manipulate us, lie to us, gaslight us, all for a little relationship. That's crazy. This man is promoting that you hide your emotions so you can manipulate this woman into having her think that you're Superman and nothing bothers you and you can do anything. In the meanwhile, you're crying on your way to work. You're upset, telling your friends how you don't have any money, telling her probably you got it when you don't got it. All this manipulation. Like Rain said, that's part of the relationship, is being open and emotionally intelligent. You all are refusing to be emotionally intelligent. And then you want to say, choose better. I can't choose you when you're hiding half of yourself to me. I don't even know how you really react to things, because every time it's time for a reaction, I left something in the car, I got to go real quick. And meanwhile, you're out on the porch. So I don't understand how I'm supposed to choose you and you're being fake to me, but I'm supposed to date you. I'm supposed to submit to you and I don't really know you. That's wild to me.
She ate that. You out again, boo?
You ain't saying nothing.
My thing is, I'm not saying hide the emotions to try to manipulate her or whatever. Oh well, Drew, I wouldn't say hide hide them. Just as a man, I feel like a part of being emotionally intelligent is knowing how to regulate said emotion.
You see, emotional intelligence.
But a part of regulating emotions is expressing them. That's a part of regulating. That's the regulating part.
And crying isn't the only way to regulate
exactly
a strong emotion.
Crying,
but that's the emotion. That's one of your key emotions that you're trying to suppress. Why is
talking
that?
about emotions?
And there's nothing wrong, bro. Why? Look. Why does a man have to cry in front of a woman to articulate something?
I feel like when y'all think
the emotional
is not always
emotional intelligence. Okay, so being emotional, right? I'm not saying that guys should walk around like some goddamn sociopath, bro. That's not what I'm saying. You guys are taking it to that extreme. Of course, if he's happy, he should be happy. Of course, if he's joyful, he should be joyful. Of course, if he's sad, he should be sad. Of course, if he's angry, he should be angry. But when he's angry and crying and all that stuff, if it's there, if it's to that point, bro, you don't have to be in front of your girl doing that. It does not benefit you in any way possible. And look, like I say,
he keeps saying crying. Why he keeps saying crying? Talking about your emotions isn't always crying. If I have an issue with something, I can tell you how I feel, and I don't have to be all depressed.
But that's exactly what bro just said. Like, there's other ways to articulate. What was your name now? I'm sorry.
Alicia.
No, the other young lady, my friend.
Oh, Delia.
Oh,
Dania. Dana?
Y'all been at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Delia.
Delia, okay. But she made a comment earlier saying something like, Crap. What did she, I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie,
Good.
but ultimately, somebody said good. Ultimately, there's no pro in crying in front of your female. Like he
There
just
is.
said, there's other ways to articulate. There's other ways to articulate your feelings. If you're frustrated with her, if you're frustrated with your job, but I'm not saying don't communicate. If you lost your job and you worry about money, I'm not saying don't communicate that you ain't got no job with your female because y'all need bills to get paid. She might have to go get one. I'm not saying don't communicate with your female. I'm just saying you don't have to break down and show them kind of signs of weakness in front of your girl. You don't. There's no benefit in that. So when y'all keep saying,
That's not
"Oh
a
no,
sign of
don't,"
weakness.
There is a benefit in
That's
that.
a sign
How
of
are you gonna
who
prove
said it's a
strength?
benefit? What's the
Wait.
benefit in that?
Okay. So
TV
wait. Oh wait. Let me get
Enlighten me, bro.
Alicia in
What's the
here. Then I'm gonna
benefit in
get
that?
Conscious in here to talk about the benefits.
hmm
You can go.
Oh, you have a better connection. It's a better understanding. I always tell my boyfriend, come and talk to me. If you need to cry, cry. I want to know your emotions so I know what you're going through. So I know what certain things I could talk about, what certain
So
things
you
I
you
can't
can get
talk
an
about.
idea on when you
Benefits
need to
it
leave.
benefits me as a partner, and it makes you feel more comfortable knowing that you find that it makes me feel more comfortable that you find that comfort in me. You know,
I
and
I think I
it
think
benefits you knowing that you're comfortable with your girl, this person you want to spend the rest of your life with. How you gonna spend the rest of your life with someone? Y'all kill me. How you gonna spend the rest of your life with someone and you can't even tell them how you feel? Like that will never make sense to me. I promise you it won't.
Okay,
And
Conscious.
to kind of right up behind that, I totally agree that you want to strive in romantic relationships for the strongest emotional, spiritual bond possible. How can you do that without total and complete vulnerability? What total and complete vulnerability creates is perfect trust, which leads to perfect love in a relationship. That is something that is the like what else what to everybody else's point, what the hell is the point of being in a relationship? You're vulnerable enough to have sex, you're vulnerable enough to moan and groan and to show all these other aspects of yourself, but you can't even shed a fucking tear in front of me. But you can let out the biggest yep at the point of an orgasm, but you cannot bring yourself to shed a damn tear because you are just upset or you're depressed or you're having a identity crisis and you think that the person out of all people who should be the furthest removed from this collapse of identity, this collapse of stability is your fucking partner, the person who literally is supposed to be your partner in crime, the person that literally is, this is your Bonnie to your Clyde to your Bonnie, and you think that out of all people that should be removed from that, not your homeboys who you think are the first candidates to go run to, not your daddy who you think is the first candidate to go run to, but out of all people, the person that is supposed to understand you the most, the person that actually should be mastering how to comfort you and lick your wounds when everything is not perfect, when everything is not going well, when the world is upside down, is your freaking partner. Like, make it make sense how that person should be the last person to know. That
This
human
all
being, the person that you're going to procreate with, the person that you share bills with, the person that you're building financially with, that human being should be the last person to know what is going on in your heart and in
that
your
I'm not gonna lie. All like that sounds so lovely, right? Like this person that you speak of, this other half that completes you and whoop de whoop. It sounds like something straight out of a novel, gang. I ain't gonna hold you, right? But the problem is you're clearly putting too much confidence in whoever this person is. Most relationships don't work. And over 70% of the time, it's the female leaving the relationship. So, me, as a dude, if we're playing on the game of probabilities here, she may be able to accept it and love the fact that I cry and show weakness, bro. But chances are she's not. So, guess where I'm going to put my money at? She going to leave anyway. Not only is she going to leave anyway, statistically speaking, she's going to leave. But also, more than likely, she's not going to respond favorably over the long term, bro. It just don't work like that. And I think what you ladies don't even understand is like when a dude breaks down in a certain kind of way and shows certain kind of vulnerability, like you want a guy to be like that. Like when you speak and you say it out loud, it sounds beautiful to the ears. But Not really. Like this thing happens on a subconscious level. Like it's a bad taste in your mouth over an extended period of time if a man is showing weakness throughout your relationship. You're not designed to be with the weakest person. It's quantity over quality for you. Your
Not weakness.
dating strategy is different.
It's not weakness. It shows that you're a human. You're a human being with human emotions. It's
But
not.
let's
All
go
right.
with that. Let's say it's a weakness. If I, as a woman, say I don't like my man to cry and then you cry, I should have the right to say, you know what, this isn't going to work out for me. But don't hide it from me. Have me thinking you're somebody else. If I lied to you and said I
That
was
has nothing.
productive and I didn't procrastinate and I like to work, and then every time you weren't
No,
around, I was laid up doing nothing, I'm lying to
that
you. I'm
doesn't.
not being
I'm
honest with you about
I'm
who
sorry
I
to cut
am.
you off.
And our relationship is not
It
going to work.
doesn't work that way. It does. I'm
Okay,
sorry to cut you off, but that was a bad example.
sure,
You
go
being
ahead.
productive is going to come out over time. I'm going to see that you're not productive
And
because
your
no
emotions are
results are
coming out over
happening.
time too, sis.
No, because
They're
I
coming
don't
out
see
over time
sis. Why we
too.
going? Why we doing that, man? I can see there's no results if there's no productivity. You cannot see that a man is not crying if he's
I
not
can
crying in front of
see
you.
when
So
there's a
stop
hole
it.
punched in the wall. I can walk down and see that you've been breaking stuff in the basement. I can
Or
see
when
those
there's a
things too.
hole punched
I
in
can
my
tell
damn face.
I can tell in the relationship when you start acting funny, when you start treating me different, talking to me different, but you won't let me know what's going
Sure.
on.
I'm
I can
going
see
through
all
some
those
things
things
at
too.
work, babe. I'm going through some
See,
things at work. Look, let me talk to you how I talk to you. I ain't gonna do that, but I'm
don't
just
do
saying.
that. No, don't do
I ain't
that.
gonna do that. But I'm just saying though, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through some things at work. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's kind of tough right now.
So lie to me,
You ain't
right?
got nothing. You don't
So
got nothing to worry
lie.
about, love.
Yeah,
I got
you're
everything under
So
lying.
you're
control. But my
lying,
boss,
right?
you know
So
what I'm saying?
let's
My
lie to our
employees been
partners.
tripping. How is
Yeah.
that lying? If there's something going on at work and I'm telling you it's something going on at work, just because I'm not giving you the deets, I'm not telling you
Withholding
that.
information.
What's holding the truth is still lying.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like you
Come
can run
on,
it like
man.
that and still express it though. I
If
feel
I'm
like you
paying,
can be like,
my bad.
you could be like, hey babe, something is really going on at work, and you could tell her the details. And I can
Yeah.
also say, babe, like this is really, I feel very, very strongly about this.
You just ain't
Like
got to
this is
cry in
really
front of her though.
See,
weighing strong on my spirit. And
You just ain't got
you
to
with
cry.
me, like me expressing this to you, like I feel so strongly about this that I could cry. And I can even say that I feel so strongly about this, babe, that I can cry. Like this is really taking a toll on me. And
It's
like
better
I
you
just
say
don't
that
know
and don't
what
even
to,
cry, bro.
you know, I just
You'll
don't know
lock
what
that
to
girl down.
do, and I run it like that and still convey the same emotion without actually crying. You see what I'm saying?
no
Like
one
that's
wants
what I'm
all
saying.
this.
Like you can still convey
Let's
a
talk take
strong
crime.
emotion
Yeah.
without
Let's
crying,
take
I
man.
crime
feel
I'm
like,
telling you.
see, I feel like
that out of it.
what we doing here now, we're minimizing what the breakdown is. A
Right.
breakdown is when you can't take no more. It's to the point that you at your breaking point. It's not to be associated or affiliated with something simple as crying to you having to display this emotions to your partner or the
That's what
person
I'm
that you're in
saying.
a relationship with.
That's what I'm
Now,
saying. You can
I
express
feel
that.
like for your person to express themselves, especially in a relationship, this way I can learn how you react to certain things. If you're not expressing your emotions to me, how am I supposed to learn from that relationship how you react to certain things? How am I supposed to know not to do this, or you don't like that if you're not showing me that emotion? But you're over here being logical and talking to your homeboy about it, me in the dark or she in the dark. She don't know what she did wrong. We just know that you acting different. Now you out here being more, you holding in all this emotion. Now you coming to you more aggressive. Now you mentally and emotionally outside the relationship. You no longer interested in that relationship. You go move on to the next. That's what caused the trend to men out here being cheaters, single parents. You have to think about this.
Yeah, and that man would have to be like aware of himself and be mindful, practice mindfulness to know, damn, like why am I responding like this? Because I do that now. Like I'll catch myself being
That's what's up.
aggravated, and then I respond to someone that way, and I have to check myself right there. Like damn, like Red, like why you acting like that? Like, why did you respond to that? So it'll take
So
that man to have to be like, damn, like, why am I treating her like this? Like, it's not
so
her. So it'll have to take him to be. But the men that aren't, these the men that go and get mad and hit the woman or talking crazy to her or go cheat, go to another relationship because they don't want to be self-aware or do the inner work of, being able to express themselves in a conducive way.
So I got a question for Mr. Drew and Mr. Red. Why are we in relationships? Why are we in relationships? What's the purpose that you want to get out of a
To be
relationship?
worshipped.
You talking about me personally, or what should a relationship be?
Just yeah,
I mean,
personally.
honestly, personally, for me, a relationship, boyfriend girlfriend type stuff. I mean, bro, honestly, so what can you do for me? This is what relationships are nowadays. What
Or to
can
be
you do
worshipped.
for
So
me?
you're basically looking to what you can take from her,
No,
not what you
not
can
take.
build with her.
Well, yeah. But by me building, I am taking something from her. I am taking her time. I am taking her. If it calls for resources to invest in what I got going on, it calls for resources. I am taking from her, but we're building together. Absolutely, it's what you can do for me. That's how relationships are nowadays. Do I agree with it? No, but this is where we got due to, some of the things that we talked about earlier.
Shit, girl. Oh
This is where we
Lord.
are.
Okay,
Well,
so
oh,
yeah,
Hold up, Red ain't respond. My
yeah.
bad.
yeah,
Mhm.
like I was gonna say, relationships to me is like, it's just any relationship is you building relations with it. All right, what, break the
You
word down.
growing
What, like,
together, right?
relationship? So it's like, what is a ship? A ship is something that goes, like, was that supposed to go flowing on water? Let's say water. Let's equate water to emotion. So it it
I feel
it
like you tiptoeing
uh,
though. Right now you
a,
tiptoe. I
a
feel like
relationship. No, like I'm just giving a preface before I to let you see where I'm going. So I feel like a relationship is for whoever, the two people in the relationship are to come together to to build, to 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 create sex,
right.
not sex in a manner of like what we think about in this three-dimensional form of sex, how we think
Mhm.
about sex, but two energies coming together in a harmonious way and creating something else. So within that, that's what the relationship is for. I'm helping. Yes, I'm taking from you, but I'm also putting back. And the same thing that you're doing to me, it's a reciprocation of energy that is that's flowing in a harmonious way that is creating it's creating the fruits in which that is creating is the the fruits that it's creating is good fruit. You see what I'm saying? Like two people that's on the same vibe and they come together, they're building, making money together. They're they're becoming more spiritually aware and both cups are filling up. It's not that it's two half cups and I'm pouring into your cup and now your cup full but my cup empty and vice versa. We just trying to do it like that. No, it's
So you
two full cups that's
so
coming
basically
together
you
to be
see it as
whole.
a union. You see it as a union, correct?
Yes, I believe
Okay.
in
So
the
why are we
union.
just waiting information from that partner? If we see it as a partnership, we would want them to be, level playing field for both of us. You would want them to know how you feel and you would want to know the same. You telling me, so you back to what Mr. Drew question was to me earlier was, would you rather know if your female cheated or not? So in that case, would you rather know your female cheated and she tell you? Or would you rather her keep it to herself,
Just feel
knowing that
good.
you, in the fear that you might get
Bruh,
emotional?
keep your
No,
shit to
no,
yourself. No doubt.
like like don't.
Don't let me find out.
I feel like if you tell, like, all right, she doing her thing, whatever. Okay, have enough for one, have enough respect for me to not let me find out. That's for man and woman. A man that's cheating on a woman, have enough respect for your girl
So you
to not
don't
let
want
her
to know.
find out if you're doing it. But and the woman have respect for your nigga or your man to not, you know, let him know. But if she was to cheat and was to vocalize that to me, I would rather her do that because that gives me the opportunity to stay or leave. It's not that you
So
manipulating me to stay within something when you're not being, you know,
so
like
basically,
like
sorry. So basically, you would want to know. So you will want to know. You would want to see the full side of them, right? So why are we not giving them the same?
like in what way would you? Well, I don't. I'm I don't know what like I agree with it. You see what I'm saying? Like I agree with expressing your emotions to your woman how you feel.
Okay.
However, I'm also an advocate for knowing how to regulate those emotions in a conducive,
So
proper way that doesn't that doesn't jeopardize how you know
She's gonna
like
subconsciously perceive you.
This is the problem.
and because not and it's because the nature of it,
Red
not
clock.
because she wants to do this. I feel like that's a nature thing. Like it's just her nature.
Red.
Get conscious in here.
The problem with this is, I mean, I agree with Drew. Unfortunately, the world of relationships is fucked up, but we don't lean into that. We have these discussions in order to change the landscape. So we're attempting to be productive, not necessarily accept what is as what is. The problem with what I'm hearing from the men, aside from Rain, is that you all are fixated on a image, and it's no wonder black men are dying at a younger age. It's no wonder men are losing themselves to addiction, to the streets, are not taking care of themselves because you guys are trying to live according to a substanceless perception of yourselves. Y'all are worried about being some trope for a black woman. Y'all are worried about literally being the stereotype. Y'all are trying to be the stereotype. Y'all insist upon being the stereotype and then wonder what's wrong with the buttermilk. And I'm kind of surprised to hear this from you, Red Clock, because you are a bit more of a like higher frequency nigga. Like you know all about the dismantling of the ego. And I'm surprised that you're willing to pussy pop for women and actually indulge women who are low vibrational, who are only reducing you to being the muscle of the relationship, and you're not taking the more courageous route to being your true self and really exposing woman's community to the full humanity of man. And I
Yeah,
don't.
and and oh like you done or you want to
Yeah,
continue? Oh well, yeah. Like I mean, and like I would say like I hate I hate that. And like you said, I do understand the dynamics of like you know how because of don't want to be viewed as weak and be viewed, you know, having this image of being the strong, you know, like the strong man, the strong black man, and equating the strong black man to not crying and being a rock. And yeah, like I understand that. And I hate I hate that because me personally, if I have to, I'm a type of person. If I have to cry, if I'm conveying my emotions to you and I'm telling you how I feel, and I feel like I'm about to cry, I'm gonna cry. And however you view that, or however you know, it's up to me to see is you treat me different. But I'm not gonna be like, wait a minute, I'm finna go and like not cry, you know, go in the bathroom and cry. When, you know, like leave the conversation, go up in the fucking bathroom and cry. You already know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, so why not do it right here? And if you look at me a different type of way, but I hate that it has to be like that. Conscious is what I'm saying. Like I hate that that is the reality. Being that the
It
dating
doesn't
shit
have
is
to be
so
though.
fucked up. No, 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 no. I'm just saying like it doesn't have to be like that. However, it's
It's
it's it's the majority of what's
no,
going on.
no,
See,
yeah, but that's why I said everything that I said. It's only the majority because you all are willing to play the game. You all are willing to continue the path out. You guys are willing to continue to lead that way. So how is there ever going to be a reverse Uno? How can there be a turning of the tides if y'all keep justifying why y'all should continue on this pathology that black women are saying doesn't work for them, and
Amen.
y'all are even saying doesn't work for y'all either. But
Amen.
because I don't know what the setback is. It's too much work to undo it, or it requires too much courage, or there's too many L's involved before you find your princess, or I don't know like what it is. But the only reason why it's going to remain this way is because of willing participants. This is something that don't have to be in the majority, but it will continue to be obviously if you guys continue to greenlight it.
And
And this
like
is
I
my
say,
thing.
like
This is my
I've
thing too. Like, don't men feel like? And obviously, I'm talking about like cis hetero men. Like, don't y'all? But like, y'all deserve to have. Like, y'all deserve this. Y'all deserve the woman of y'all dreams too, and y'all are holding yourself back from that by not being y'all complete and total selves. Like, y'all are not even allowing yourselves to line up with the woman who is carved out and customized for you, because y'all are willing to kind of take what is rather than continue to show up and play any mini miny until you hit mo. Like, this is a part of like loving yourself enough to remain single until you have that total compatibility. This is about making those really adult decisions in order to give your life the opportunity to line up with what you feel you truly deserve. But it seems like y'all are taking the easy way out, which is also costing the community. It's costing y'all, it's costing women
and
by just playing the game as is and allowing it to be what it be. Do men ever question themselves, like, where does my shame come from? Like, when I think about crying, where does that come from? Who taught me to be ashamed to have feelings? Who taught me to be ashamed of emotional expression? Who taught me to feel silly and goofy and useless because I have the capacity to be upset or to feel exposed, or I have the capacity to be profoundly betrayed and to be severely hurt by the condition of my life or my childhood, etc. Who taught me this? Who gave me the shame? Like, doesn't and then why is there not an incentive once you realize I'm ashamed to have full autonomy and to have full emotional expression, and therefore now I'm going to do the work because that shit is whack. I deserve just as much access to my feelings and my thoughts and my being and my heart as any other group does, whether that's women, etc. Men are not removed from that. Men are trying to behave a certain way rather than being their authentic self. Y'all are trying to be performative in y'all masculinity and performative in y'all manhood instead of actually being a freaking man. You don't have to try to be what you already inherently are. And the only
Amen.
way to break up all these social constructs is to literally discern them, acknowledge them, and then refuse and rebuke them.
Amen.
So this is what I'm gonna do right now, because girl, this is the reason I wanted to have this panel, like pre-record this panel, because this panel is supposed to only be an hour. You're right, girl, because I knew these conversations get really good, and I knew the people on the panel were going to bring it. So this is what I'm gonna do.
You cut out the game.
See, Georgia. That Georgia connection, boy.
Oh, girl, what I'm gonna do right now? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What I'm going to do right now, it seems like when I yell, y'all hear me. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go from Red Clark all the way down, all the way up to Delia, And what you guys are going to do is we're going to talk about.
We're gonna talk about what?
You gonna talk about who?
When?
Some with an S though. It's some with an S though.
He said stories.
I heard something with an S.
It's some with an S. It's just some.
You muted yourself?
Then you're going to close out.
Okay.
Then I'm going to end this panel.
Okay, what did you say? You said
Yeah.
stories.
That we're going to do what? We're going to do stories?
So tired of this shit.
What?
Just type it out, baby, and put it up on the
Yeah,
screen. How
type
about
it.
that?
So, Lord, at this point,
I'm going to struggle through it.
It's like every time. Hey, say it at the end.
And the struggle is winning, honey. The struggle is winning.
We still can't hear you. You gone.
you gotta like space it out.
Type it out and put it on the screen.
You gotta space it out.
Y'all continue talking. I'm going to figure this out.
You said you wanted to tell stories, right?
No.
I heard a story.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this quick. Girl, let me take this fucking mic out.
It's StreamYard, because remember, it was doing that to your ex last night as well.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
What about now? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to say this quick as hell. I'm gonna go all the way from Red Clark all the way down to Delia. What you're gonna do right now, you're gonna give from your perspective on solutions we can do or implement in relationships. Then you're going to give out your closing arguments, closing statements. Then you're gonna drop down from the panel. Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bitch, maybe it was my motherfucking mic. But with all of that being said, so Red Clark, because I don't want to make this bad boy 3 hours, I'm giving everybody like a minute and 15 seconds.
All right, so boom. I would just say, hey, look, vet your partner properly, man, and like Conscious say, do the self work and be willing to sacrifice, be single, work on yourself until you manifest or attract the person that's for you. Be your true, authentic self. I've cried in front of both of my girlfriends, and that never hindered what we had going on. It happened because some other things. So be able to be vulnerable, but also know how to regulate said emotions. Not to say that be a rock all the time, but be you. And I know me, I'm that person that got to be that person. So I have to hone in on it. So if you're that person, or just striving to be a influential being, a person that help other people in that order, in this midas of chaos, just work on yourself to create harmonious, a harmonious life, a wealthy life, an abundant life. Work on yourself. Work on love yourself. It's Valentine's Day. Everybody trying to get a Valentine, but love yourself.
No, we're not.
Run you some bubble bath with an Epsom salt, with some wine, and sit there and listen to your like your old school R&B or your jazz, man. Love yourself. Love yourself.
So Red Clark, let the people know where they can find you at.
Look, man, you can find me on Instagram at red__Clark. RED__CLARK. If you got Facebook, you can add me on Facebook at Red Clark. Then from there I got everything on there. I'm an artist. I do a lot of things. I'm a great artist. So tap in with me, and I'm gonna get you right for sure.
Well, alrighty, we got Red Clark. Alrighty, Red Clark. Bye-bye. Alrighty, Rain.
I'll say, man, don't be afraid to show y'all emotion out here to y'all lovers. Don't try to hide your true self from people so they can deviate. And if you're afraid of being single, I mean, at the end of the day, you came in this world by yourself. You gonna leave by yourself. So, as well as women, y'all watch out for these red flags. If he's not showing you emotions, it's not there. It's not it. Time to move on to the next. at the end of the day, show love, share your all. That's it.
All righty. So, Rain, let the people know where they can find you.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, y'all can find me on Instagram, Raining Spam. Right there, my IG should be below my name. But yeah.
Oh, also as well too, I want to let the people know. Just so you guys are aware, Rain in Spain, Rain is the reason why you. Okay, so if you guys remember, I actually had a commercial, my very first commercial ever, when it came down to the fitness planner. This is actually the person behind that. So yay! So all you motherfucking fat hoes that want to get in shape, yes ma'am. Make sure we go get our shit. Because I'm also part of that. No shade.
Yeah, y'all can find the shop on Etsy on the royal listing. It's right now, if you type in Mr. Reckless code Logicians, you'll get a 70% off the product.
Come on, discount.
It's free.
All righty, that's Rain. All righty. Now, Alicia.
Well, what I have to say about relationships, everybody need to know it's a give and take. You give. The more you give, the more you take. There are benefits, men, to sharing your emotions. So please come share your emotions. I'm sorry, I'm so tired right now. I had a day at work.
I know.
I'm sorry, but like I tell these kids at my job, and it applies to adults too. Treat people how you want to be treated. If you want your woman to be open to you and talk to you and submit to you and do all the other things, you need to give them the same. Honestly. Whew.
All righty, Alicia. It was funny because I was over here laughing because I can see you over here on my other screen. And
also, us women, we need to be patient because there still is, but hopefully, later down the line, the stigma breaks. But there still is a stigma that men need to not cry or boys don't cry, all that stuff. So as women, we also need to be patient with our men and give them time to open up. But men, there's a lot of benefits to opening up to your woman, and that's how you'll know if that's the women for you or not. That's one good benefit, Drew. That's how you gonna know if that's the woman for you or not. If that's the woman who's supposed to be bearing your children, because I'm gonna teach my son that he needs to share his emotions with his woman, his wife, whoever he chooses to be with in the future, whether it's a man or a woman, I don't care. But I'm gonna teach my son to show his emotions and let me know what the problem is. So there's your benefits, Drew.
All righty, Alicia. Let the people know where they can find you. You got 2.5 seconds.
Instagram, Alicia ALEESHA.Joe on Instagram. That's it. That's all.
All righty, that's Alicia. Conscious.
Men, instead of trying to find a date, make an appointment with a therapist and stay in there until you feel totally and utterly complete. Black women, continue to divest, get accustomed to dildos and lesbianism, and please refrain from settling from anything less from these niggas. Do not give them anything that they refuse to give to you. And I'm out.
He said lesbianism. That is a key. Oh my gosh. And now we have the final two that was been going back and forth like I don't know what. All righty, so Delia.
I would just say that this conversation taught me to step my resume up. No, but honestly, it taught me that there is no reason to date right now. If you are a woman out in the world and you are single, you are in the right place. You are in a safe space. Go ahead and stay there for a minute. These men are not able to give you what you need. They cannot give themselves what they need. They are half of a human being and you need a whole person. You are not coming to fix anyone, uplift anyone until they can show you that they are worthy of that. He was talking about qualify. We don't even have quality from these guys. So don't let them hype you up, gaslight you, manipulate you, and try to play you, because this is not what that is, okay? Just stay single. If there's a man that is worthy of your time and your energy, you will see him and there will be no conversation about qualifications. It will present itself unto you like the Holy Spirit. So I'm going to continue to do that because it's been working for me. I hope everyone has an amazing Valentine's Day. I don't really do anything. I just chill. So my IG is Delia D Beauty, and that's all.
All righty, you take care, Delia. That's Delia.
She
Now,
said
Drew,
a
the
whole lot,
man of
didn't
the
she?
hour, the man that I knew if anybody else wasn't gonna bring it, I knew and I could count on you that you was gonna stir the pot, and I live for it. Because at least, no matter what you think, one thing about the Reckless Bureau, we love people that they're gonna. It may be unpopular. People may not like what people think, but they're gonna stand on what the hell they said and what the hell they feel. So
Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you what
today
I
you've been
think for
windmilling
sure.
on everybody. I swear to God. All right. So what's your thoughts?
How relationships can work these days? I'll tell you what. Men, do not be overly emotional. Don't listen to these girls. Do not be overly emotional. It drives a wedge between you two and it changes the dynamics of your relationship, and it happens on a subconscious level for her. That's a fact. Also, get more money. Ladies, close your legs.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And also, gentlemen, be the person in the relationship that the other person likes more. Relationships work when one person likes the other one more than the other. It sounds toxic, but man, you have to be the prize. You have to be the one that the girl wants more. That's the only way the relationship is going to work, because you're going to get the best out of her. Trust me.
I'm laughing because I know you can trigger up my audience. They probably they've been tearing your ass up in this chat all goddamn night. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. Okay, so let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at _Drew Smooth on Instagram. That's really the only social media platform I utilize right now. So go ahead and follow me.
All righty. That's Drew. Because baby, oh Lord have mercy. So that is it. Come on, lesbian. He said lesbianism for the win. Girl, that is a fucking key. Okay, so y'all, that is it for the show. That is it for the Reckless Bureau. I want to personally say, give a thanks to all of the panelists. I knew this panel was, because for one, I knew this panel was going to be really good, because for one, whenever we talk about relationships, whenever we like get into the dynamics of relationships, it's always a sensitive topic. People get really passionate, but then not only that, I know the people that were going to be on this panel, and plus I knew they were going to bring it, and they all brought it. I want to say, give a personal thanks to all the panelists. Thank you so guys so very much. I also want to, let me do this before I forget. I want to say thank you, Elf, for your contribution to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. And Represent T, I want to say thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it for your contribution. Yeah, I really try to do a good job moderating. As you see, when I'm hosting, I try to be on a neutral side. But if not neutral, I try not to insert too much. I give the panelists time to speak, because we all know when it's time for me to become whenever I'm a panelist, baby, I need to say something and I need to speak, because my opinion need to be heard. But however, the purpose of the Reckless Bureau is to give other people the opportunity to speak and defend themselves or their arguments as well. So thank you guys so very much. That is it for my YouTube. Girl, what the hell is going on my fucking thing? Oh, girl. That is it for my YouTube video for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell so do not miss any more posts from me. Till next time, guys, I will see you guys later. Bye.